Wait a minute. Okay, we're going to go live right now. Here we go. Greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, Robert Meyer Burnett. I invite you to watch and listen to the Designing Hollywood podcast, brought to you by Martika Ibarra and the great, legendary Hollywood costume designer, Marilyn Vance. I am afforded the wonderful opportunity of co-hosting the show. If you are interested in the magic of Hollywood, the design of Hollywood, the clothes of Hollywood, watch the Designing Hollywood podcast, available wherever you get your podcasts from, or find the video version on the John Campea YouTube channel. That's right, the Designing Hollywood podcast. Why would you ever want to miss it? Especially if you love the movies. Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your Duke of Dope Discourse, your master of fun and wonder, your viceroy of verisimilitude, your sommelier of sci-fi and cinema, your evangelist of the imagination, and whatever the hell else you want to call me. You know, it's you who hang these names on me, not me. I don't make this shit up. You guys hang it on me, and I just adapt it and use it free of charge. I don't pay you any residuals or nothing. So you keep those nicknames coming. My name is Robert Meyer Burnett, and this is Let's Get Physical Media, episode number 149. And I could prattle on all day. But you didn't really come to hear me do that. You came to see somebody you've missed. Somebody who skipped a week. Somebody who let you down because they had to work. You know him. You love him. He's right here in my heart because he's my favorite German. He's your favorite German. He's everybody's favorite German, all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland, Mr. Dieter Bastian. Dieter, how are you?
Rob, I'm excited to do the show with you, even if Dave Parker would say, the man with a gazillion problems. And Dave, you're not wrong about that, but I don't care. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here, I'm Rocky Like Hurricane, and welcome to the B&B Motel for Let's Get Physical Media, where we have a lot of stuff to talk about and to show. And
wait a minute, wait, hang on. Are you saying that I have a million problems?
No, me, Rob.
Oh.
Dave Parker said, the man with the gazillion problems, you know?
All right.
And I said, I don't care. I don't care about that, Dave.
I just wanted to clarify. I want to clarify.
Because Dave was upset with me. You know, I laughed about that little great Instagram joke that he did. I don't know if you have seen it, Rob. He said, it's a rap equals to filmmaker searching for a job. And I thought this was funny. Because, Dave, every good joke is tied to a little truth, you know? And if you say it's a rap equals searching for a new job as a filmmaker, that fits.
Well, now that you put it that way, if every good joke is tied to the truth, then my entire life. No, I'm kidding. I kid. A little gentle ribbing of myself. Always a good thing.
And Rob, for the last month or so, we ask ourselves, where is the crane? Where is the crane in Aliens? And you said 3 weeks ago, take your shuttlecraft, look for the crane. And I said, would you come with me, Rob? And you said, no, I have dogs to feed and scripts to read. I have no time for this Mickey Mouse bullshit. So I went out alone, and Rob, I did find the crane where it went. It went to all the huts and the houses in Rebel Moon, you know, to protect those from the evil empire. And they destroyed the crane. So here's where your crane has gone, Rob. As many of you, I have seen Rebel Moon Part 2, The Sleep Giver 2. And what a disappointment. What a disappointment, Rob. And you and I are Zack Snyder fans, Rob. Zack Snyder fans. But since he did the move to Netflix, it's getting harder and harder to defend him. And I was really thinking, okay, perhaps Part 2 will be like Dune Part 2. It will be better. Even better than the first one. And pick the first one which for me was okay, a little bit up. And then I would have interest in the director's cut of those movies. But this one actually killed it for me, Rob. No disease can save those movies for me. The first hour, unbelievable. Unbelievable. You have the same final boss, as Dwayne Johnson would say, the same final boss as in the first one. I couldn't believe it, Rob. Couldn't believe it. And there are movies, Rob.
You're not wrong. I mean, I know the Snyder Bros get pissed.
Yeah.
And
but
just
Rob, we are fans, Rob, of Snyder. We are fans of Zack.
I mean, it's funny. I don't like people. Apparently, the internet has a short memory until people are trying to cancel you, and then it has the longest memory in the world. But everyone knows that Dawn of the Dead is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Yeah.
And a movie that I was vehemently opposed to. A movie that I literally went into the theater like this. Show me what you got, buddy. I was so angry that somebody dared to walk on hallowed ground like they tried to do so. I was so mad. I was ready. I don't think I've ever been so poised to hate something ever. And I don't usually go into movies hating things or wanting to hate them. I want to love them because I know how hard it is to get anything made. And I walked out of that movie going, that was pretty good. And then of course he made 300. Now while I think Watchmen is a slavish recreation of the graphic novel with not a lot of intellectual understanding of what they were doing, what Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons were doing in that graphic novel, I did respect the love that was put into the film. And, as you can see, where are they? Right over there. You can't. They're cut off. You can see them on the wider shot. Yeah. I do appreciate what Zack Snyder tried to do with Watchmen, and a lot of it, I enjoy watching it. I liked Man of Steel. I liked Zack Snyder's Justice League. I liked the ultimate version of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. There's no joy in those movies, but the Wagnerian operetics are something I could definitely get behind. All good. Yeah. But Rebel Moon, actually, it started with me with Army of the Dead. Look, I even find joy in Sucker Punch. I don't think Sucker Punch is...
Me too.
There's the music is on...
The extended edition, Rob. For us, of course, the extended edition on the Blu-ray.
Yeah, and if you put some, Ibiza techno over... If you just turn off the sound and just play techno music or some chill-out disc from, Ibiza. What is it? What were those discs I collected in the aughts? Yeah. I had all of them. Cafe Del Mar. If I had all the CD Cafe Del Mars and was playing it over Sucker Punch on an endless loop, it would be cool. I have hot toys. I have a baby doll hot toy from Sucker Punch, and by saying that I have a baby doll hot toy from Sucker Punch, it sounds like some weird femdom thing I'm getting into. But no, I assure you, the character's name is Baby Doll from the Hot Toys Company, and the Hot Toys Company is not what you think it is, you dirty-minded people. But I do. And so I don't hate it, but I have to tell you, between Army of the Dead, which a lot of people liked, I was not one of them. I can't believe somebody went from Dawn of the Dead to Army of the Dead and did that. And, there's so much great design work. I want to give a shout out to the Designing Hollywood podcast. This week, I just dropped Sarah Evelyn. I interviewed her. She is the costume designer for the upcoming Fall Guy. And, has worked with that team for a while. So it was a really entertaining episode of the show, if I do say so myself. But I want to like Rebel Moon. I want to like Rebel Moon because, we're going to get into it later, but Eureka out of the UK, Eureka announced something this week that I was surprised by, that kind of is in the same genre as what I wanted Rebel Moon to be. But I was perplexed at just how inept both of those movies are. And maybe if we ever get these director's cuts, they'll be worth watching. Maybe. I don't know.
But I was thinking, Rob, if the second one is better, then I'm more interested in the DC. So, you could punch them up a little bit. But, the scene with the tablecloths, Rob. We have some presents for you. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. But what can you do? It was number 1 in the German charts, Rob. And the first one even got back up in the top 10 of Netflix, It was, I think, on number 3, the first one.
Well, the general public,
Yeah.
no accounting for taste, right? I kid.
And just quickly before we dive perhaps in the box office, I wanted to ask you, since you are the Cronenberg aficionado here, have you seen Caitlin's movie?
No, but I heard a great, that would be Humane, the movie Humane. So David Cronenberg's daughter, we have the third Cronenberg member of the family who's now become a film director. She had been a professional photographer for 20 years. I heard a great interview with her. I was driving back from, I did an interview for a documentary, believe it or not, about Christmas movies. And I was driving back, and NPR had a couple of bangers. And they had a whole Science Friday episode about silk, which I still can't stop thinking about. Silk. How you could actually replace plastic bottles with silk bottles.
Okay.
So, if you're an NPR fan, you can go look it up. Science Friday, silk. This Indian scientist, she wrote a book about silks that I actually want to buy. Anyway, then I heard the interview with Caitlin Cronenberg about the making of Humane. And so for those of you, I didn't even know it was opening this weekend, and it might be playing at our indie theater. I definitely want to go see that.
Yeah.
So for those of you who don't know, Humane, basic premise is that we're in the future and global warming has ravaged the planet, and the government has mandated they're culling 20% of the population. They're just going to come kill you. And if they send a culling
I'm
team,
in, Rob. I'm in.
if they send a culling team to your house, legally, if they send somebody to your house, they have to leave with however many bodies they're supposed to come out with. And apparently there was some shenanigans, and this family dinner is happening, and the people that were supposed to be at this family dinner that were supposed to be culled are not there, which means the culling team has to take two members of the family that are in the house, has to eliminate them and bring them back to be cremated, because they're bringing it's to save the resources that have been dying off because of global warming. So they had to bring the human population down by 20%. And of course, the people in the house, they don't want to die. So they have to decide
Certainly not.
who's going to do what. But, I heard her, she was very, very well-spoken, very articulate.
Yeah.
Just the kind of person you want to be a filmmaker. And listening to her journey on how she came up with this idea, and she came up with it she read the script, and she was very taken by the script. So she didn't come up with the initial idea, but then she worked together with the writer, and they've made the film. It's called Humane. It's out in theaters now. I don't know if it was only out in theaters.
Isn't it a Shudder exclusive?
Well, that's the thing. It's going to be streaming too, so it might be a Shudder exclusive. But obviously, I'd love. Look, Shudder's. We know if it's Shudder. Look, I'm thinking. I hope Second Sight's putting this bad boy out, because putting out Possessor. I think they're doing Infinity Pool. So.
Yeah, I think so too, Rob.
Because we all. I want the entire Cronenberg. I mean, Cronenberg's been doing all right, but hello, 20th Century Fox, which is now 20th Century Studios. Can somebody at Disney pull their head out of their giant rectums and license out some movies? If you guys aren't going to put out David Cronenberg's The Fly, can you please let Second Sight have it? Can you let them have Barbarian? Can you let them have David Pryor's The Empty Man? How about fucking Zardoz? Give that to Arrow. I mean, you're sitting on this amazing legacy of film. Where are the Planet of the Apes movies? You got a Planet of the Apes film coming out in 2 weeks. No 4K Planet of the Apes box set. How many times? I mean, between talking about how Hot Toys are racist because they won't put out Dora Milaje figures, and talking about how 20th Century Fox won't license out their movies. Yep. My God, man. My God.
Rob, like you said, if a new movie comes out to a franchise, normally you get re-releases from older ones. And I start with one, Rob. Kung Fu Panda has come out in 4K as a steelbook.
Look at that steelbook. That's mighty pretty.
Since the fourth
got a
one
real pretty steelbook right there, don't you?
Is out there. So the first one got re-released in 4K this time with Dolby Atmos track, I see.
Right?
So
that's
nice.
what I'm talking
about.
And
I think it's successful enough that we will get another one, Rob. But how is the box office doing? I heard we have a new challenger.
Oh,
the box
I see what you
office.
did there. Nicely done. Nicely done. Yes.
I've learned my craft from Alessandro, you know.
There, yeah. Okay. Well, let me tell you where we are at as far as it comes with the box office. Do you want to hear?
Yeah.
Well, let's do this. I'm going to read what Nancy Tartaglione, our favorite Nancy Tartaglione, over at Deadline has to say. This is her headline. Skadoosh! Kung Fu Panda 4 crosses $500 million worldwide.
Jeez.
Challengers widens its offshore net. The Fall Guy starts overseas action. Here is the international box office.
Ooh.
Universal DreamWorks Animation's Kung Fu Panda 4 has topped the half-century mark globally, now with 503 million worldwide. Of that, 318 million is from the international box office. Passing 500 million makes Kung Fu Panda 4, directed by Mike Mitchell and co-directed by Stephanie Mostein, only the fourth animated title to benchmark since 2020, joining Illumination's The Super Mario Bros. Movie and Minions Rise of Gru and Sony Marvel's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Overseas, The Return of Poe and Company is now the highest-grossing film in the franchise in 37 markets, including Mexico and Brazil. The series of films recently topped the 2 billion mark globally to become the seventh highest-grossing animated franchise of all time. So that's pretty nice. Warner Brothers' Zendaya-led drama Challengers from MGM expanded into 51 more markets, serving up $9 million in the frame for a running $10 million international cum after hitting the court in Australia and New Zealand last weekend. And it opened in America, or North America. It is the number one movie at $15 million. And this is really great for the director, Luca Guadagnino, Guadalupe.
Because I didn't know, Rob, that this director was attached to the movie. So I was expecting, from the trailer, rom-com. But then I heard about, wait, was that kind of director?
I know. Well, that's because he's usually, he's given us Tell Me Your Name and the remake of Suspiria. Yeah. So not his normal bill of fare, but, hey, a Zendaya-led love triangle, count me in. Because I'm a dirty old man.
Rob, it isn't your standard bill of fare. What I'm hearing from
right. No, yeah, and people are saying it's a great movie. The top studio movie of the weekend internationally was Godzilla x Kong with an estimated 14.9 million in 78 markets. It has made 519 million worldwide through Sunday. Yeah. And you know what it just added? Japan. Home to Godzilla, Gojira. And distributed by Toho there, Godzilla x Kong came in number 2 behind second frame of local title Detective Conan, the $1 Million Pentagram, which I believe is an anime. And the results are ahead of Transformers Rise of the Beasts, Dune, and Dune Part 2. So all of that's pretty exciting.
Nice.
So, I mean...
And Challengers is an MGM movie, so it will be on Amazon Prime in the future. I would think so.
Yes. So let's shift here to the domestic box office. I know you're not domestic. That's why I like to start with international.
But there's other big numbers coming in, Rob, from domestic.
Yeah, domestic numbers. So Challengers 15 million. Unsung Hero from Lionsgate at 7.75 million. Is that a faith-based movie? I don't even know. Godzilla x Kong: The New Empire is at 181 domestically. Civil War from A24 is now at 56.1 million. I mean, I think their number one highest grossing film worldwide was Everything Everywhere All at Once, but you go A24. Yeah. Now that I'm a member. Abigail, the vampire movie, is at 18.7 million. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare is at 15.4 million, and I think right now it's only out in America, and it might not be out anywhere else. Kung Fu Panda 4 is at 185 million. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire has passed the $100 million mark. It is at 107.38 million. Dune Part 2 has a total domestic cum of 279.7 million. I believe it's going to cross 700 million. And here's something you don't see very often.
Yeah.
Alien.
Ooh.
That's right.
Re-release.
Ridley Scott's 1979 shocker that changed the world. And, I don't mean shocker like this. Alien made, check it out, $1.56 million, over $1 million. That means Alien's total cumulative domestic box office is now $83.6 million. And then another movie that was produced by Roy Lee that I think you and I would like it. I have not seen it. Boy Kills World. At
Really
$1.6 million. Which that movie looks crazy good, but I haven't seen it. Have you seen it? Did you see it?
No. I have not dropped by. I only heard the reviews that some people are a little bit put off with the voiceover in the movie. I don't know if you heard about it. There's a voiceover because the main character is deaf and mute, and he can only read lips, and he has a voiceover in his head when other people talk. And some people couldn't connect with the movie on that front,
Well, people don't advertise for killers.
Nevertheless, I'm looking forward to it. Action movie, and therefore
it looks good.
And speaking of Rob Leroy, I watched Late Night with the Devil.
What'd you think?
Great movie, Rob.
It's a great movie, right?
Totally had a blast with it. And I watched the Red Letter Media review about it. And even if Mike was right, considering some stuff, you could ask who is filming the black and white stuff. Why are they filming this? So there are some plot stuff that's not really tracking, but like you with the VHS tape in Ring, I did go with it with the movie. And I had a great time with it, great sound design. And Rob, Late Night with the Devil is for me the perfect example. It works because beside of David Dastmalchian, I don't know any of the other actors or actresses that play in the movie.
Which works really well for the movie.
Yeah, exactly. You had put a star in that kind of movie, that would have taken me out of the movie,
Yeah.
But here, for that kind of movie, it totally works. And speaking of your friend Mr. Lee, wait, where do I have it? Another movie that I think he was an executive producer on, but I haven't watched it. I bought Baghead.
Yeah, he was.
Haven't seen it.
It's
in the bag.
It's a baghead is a cat in the bag. I watched the trailer for that. It looked really good.
Okay.
I mean, it's there's now this weird sort of subgenre in the horror genre itself, and Baghead sort of belongs to that. It's like ancient evil captured somewhere. Don't open that door. Don't let the ancient evil out. But it looks pretty good. I mean, the trailer looked good.
Yeah. And on the horror note, Rob, let me just see where I have it. Because I watched Immaculate, the Sidney Sweeney movie, which I totally enjoyed too. Let me just see. Would I have a poster here for it? I thought I had a poster for it already. Yeah. Immaculate. And Rob, actually, I think I haven't seen First Omen, but couldn't you do a universe about it, with a good baby and perhaps a bad baby? And considering Immaculate, Rob, I heard about the shocking ending, but for us too, Rob, who know Martyrs, Eden Lake, it has a rocky, punchy ending. Yeah, definitely. But I was not that I was in shock about the ending of Immaculate. But really, really nice one. Really nice one.
Yeah, it's it look. It was so fun.
But I haven't seen First Omen, so I can't compare the two.
It was pretty funny because last night Elizabeth's aunts who were visiting from France were over. Okay. And we I pulled out an Eric Romer movie, this little nice movie that I'd never seen before, and I don't think they liked it very much. But they asked me they asked me, so I went and got a stack of French movies, and I slipped inside. I had the second sight inside. I was like, I just put it on the stack, They of course did not pick that. But
you dodged the bullet
no,
there, Rob.
dude, I can't. Do you know if I tried to show Inside to three French sisters that are all in their 70s and now 80, I would go to hell.
Definitely, Rob.
These women are Adventists,
slipping down there.
God-fearing women. I would be sent straight to the underworld. I mean, I would never do that.
Yeah.
But
you wouldn't have
just as a joke, just as no one saw it. I was hoping Elizabeth might see it, and she's like, "What the fuck? Yeah. What the fuck?" But she didn't see it. Yeah. I amused myself.
Which movie did you pick, Rob?
Inside.
No, which movie did you watch?
Oh, it's an Eric Romer movie, and you know what? To tell you the truth, I dropped. But it's about two girls that become friends, and they move to Paris, and it's 4 different stories, and it's the name of the 2 girls, and they're French names, and I don't know what they are. But I thought the movie was quite delightful. You know, it was like a French New Wave film from the early '60s, but it was very slight, and it was very much a trifle. It was almost like an appetizer for some movie that you're never going to see later that's more substantial. But I thought it was delightful. I love the 2 performances between the two girls, and it was, I liked it. I really enjoyed it. Kino Lorber put it out. I got it from Kino Lorber.
Nice. And speaking of pregnancy movies, a triple feature: First Omen, Immaculate. This is an older movie, but sometimes the smaller movies take a little bit of time until they get released on physical media. It comes out, I think, next week in the States, and the original title is Husara, the Bone Woman, and this is the German media book.
Ooh, man, it looks like the Manitou. It's coming out of her back. Plated Sigis. Have you seen this? Yeah,
yesterday, Rob. Totally loved the movie, because the movie, if you would taken out a supernatural element of the movie, it totally would work as a drama without the supernatural stuff.
Nice.
So that's always a big plus. So this is a media book, but it has only a Blu-ray and a DVD, so no 4K, and it comes with the poster, and it has a great lead performance. And this is a first time director, not really first time, but her first feature debut. It's Michelle Garza Severa. And it's from 2022, so the movie is a little bit older. Doesn't look that nice, Rob, A pile of bodies,
Sure.
So, really nice movie. Comes out in the States this week. And I will get that edition too, Rob, because it has a little bit more bonus features than the German one. So I really wanted to watch it yesterday, so I would know if I had to cancel or leave the order open, and I will leave the order open. It's a movie that plays in Mexico, so a Mexican movie on.
I like Mexican horror.
One. Yeah, like I said, it has supernatural elements. Not that many, but I was totally taken by the story. And you could make, I haven't seen First Omen, I would say a triple feature considering pregnancy. The Bone Woman is in the same kind of ballpark. But you actually could make a double feature with actually the Bone Woman and Love Lies Bleeding. As strange as that sound, Rob, it would work for me too. Wow. And I saw Love Lies Bleeding. Speaking of Rose Glass doing her second movie, because we were both fans of St. Maud, and Love Lies Bleeding for me totally rocked the house too. I know the ending is a little bit not everyone's cup of tea, and I would think it could work with just doing the, I would say, split thing, James McAvoy stuff, getting her a little bit bigger. Not that big, but okay. The movie got me until there, so I went with it. Totally had a blast. Great sound design. And for me, considering the Bone Woman, now I'm looking forward to the second movie from Michelle after the Bone Woman, if she can deliver a second great movie as Rose Glass did. Especially since Love Lies Bleeding is totally, for me, different than St. Maud
was
as a movie. Have you seen Love Less Bleeding, Rob?
I have not yet, but I own Saint Maud, and I really want to. I really want to.
For me, big recommendation. It has that nice little, violence tips here and there, that we quite enjoy. So for me, Love Less Bleeding was totally great. Let me just see what else there was. And of course, Rob, we had the finale of Shogun.
What did you think of the finale of Shogun?
I had to adapt, Rob. Please adapt, because it didn't go the way that we are used to being the final act of movies, of shows. The last one is always, all in, considering action. So I had to adapt it a little with the last episode. It was taking a different road, but it was a nice one.
I loved it. It's poetry, man.
Yeah.
It was more, and I have to tell you, Toranaga-sama, that guy, he was so good in this role, and that long, the extended scenes he has with Blackthorn and I forget his name, Yama, I can't pronounce it.
Yoshibu.
Yoshibu. That scene.
Yoshi. Yoshi. Super Mario.
Super Mario. Before he was going to kill himself, that scene was incredible. I mean, the writing was so good, and I don't know if I liked the initial framing sequence where he's dreaming about himself in England as an old man.
But it was a little bit confusing, even if the title was Dream.
It was just incongruous. We hadn't seen anything like that, and you're wondering, But I mean, I appreciated where it was going. And I love the whole idea that Toranaga is playing three-dimensional chess and everyone else is playing checkers. So I quite enjoyed it.
Considering the comparison to the 80 show, Rob, since I don't have big remembrance, are they vastly different?
There is, and I'll tell you the difference between the 1980s Shogun and the Shogun of today is the 80s Shogun, and Darth Plato put it well in yesterday's member chat. The 80s Shogun was showing this, and by the way, it came out in 1980. So the 80s Shogun was showing us this story mostly through Blackthorn's eyes. So we, the audience, were experiencing it as Blackthorn did. So you did not go into the machinations of the Japanese politics the way you did in this version. Because you didn't, and a lot of it was not subtitled. So a lot of the framing, Orson Welles actually does the narration in the original Shogun. So it was interesting because we were learning Japanese words and phrases as Blackthorn was. It was done really, really well. And it was a little bit more melodramatic, and Blackthorn's relationship with Mariko was more emphasized. I mean, because we're getting Thornbird's Richard Chamberlain. If you probably didn't see that romantic miniseries that every woman of the period loved. The period meaning late 70s, early 80s. But it was that kind of thing. So it was a different feeling. But I don't as much as I loved this Shogun, I loved it. And it was, as an intellectual exercise and as a cinematic exercise, it was beautifully executed. And I loved all the actors, but I don't know if I was as involved. And it was funny, I was trying to explain this to Elizabeth. I said, the original Shogun aired 44 years ago. So that's a long time. And there's a lot of entertainment water under the bridge. But Shogun and Winds of War were my two favorite miniseries of all time. And I was I was 13 years old when I saw it. It hit me really hard. I thought it was like the coolest thing. It's still my favorite TV miniseries of all time. And I want to go back and watch it now. But it was just different. I felt that I was much more into the Shogun story of the original, and I was more outside looking into this Shogun. And I really liked it. I mean, I really like what they did, and it was certainly a handsome show, and I love the performances. But I mean, you had Toshiro Mifune playing Toranaga in the original Shogun. I mean, the Seven Samurai, the Toshiro Mifune playing. But it was still good. You know what I watched this week? And I know it's not a lot of people's cup of tea, but this 4K of Tarkovsky's Nostalgia. This is I mean, I know Andrei Tarkovsky is not everyone's cup of tea. As I've said on this show, he's basically made 3 fantasy movies, outright fantasy. Solaris, Stalker, which is an adaptation of Arkady and Boris Strugatsky's book Roadside Picnic, and his last film, The Sacrifice, that he made before he died as an expat in France. But this film is a beautiful movie, and by God, dude, this 4K restoration, chef's kiss. This looks...
It's from Kino Lorber?
It is from Kino Lorber,
Yeah.
and it is amazing. And it's got some really good special features, and you know, if we're going to get these, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get... I'd love to get The Mirror. Yeah. You know, The Mirror and Andrei Rublev in 4K. Well, and, you know, Stalker, Solaris, and The Sacrifice. But it's great. I mean, this is a stunning... Kudos to Kino Lorber. Again, their cartel money is being put to good use. No, I'm kidding. I kid Kino Lorber. No, I just thank you. I thank you for putting this out, because this is just it's stunning. And you know, the 4K is a lot of the time Kino Lorber, between the French films they're putting out, the silent classics, one of which I'll show later, which is amazing. I mean, as I can't believe the breadth and scope of what they're releasing on a monthly basis. It's incredible. So even though they're an unofficial sponsor, I have to say they're an official sponsor of this show because they send me this stuff. But you go, Kino Lorber and Kino Cult and all the different Kino labels, and you know, they're always having a sale. So I love when people post what they bought from Kino.
Yeah.
So go to Kino Lorber, tell them I sent you, tell them we sent you. Tell them your favorite German sent you, and go buy a bunch of stuff, because it's for the amount they charge for it, cheap. You can never go wrong.
Can't go wrong. So with Sarah, we show some stuff. Who starts?
Well, okay. Speaking of people that send me stuff, so Warner Archive, you know, my beloved Warner Archive, your beloved Warner Archive, Warner Brothers sent me a Blu-ray of Gravity.
Okay.
Am I missing something? Has this been re-released? Like, this is just a
Yeah,
Blu-ray.
so, but I don't know. But I don't know why, or if there's any difference.
I don't either. And it, you know, they don't. It just showed up, and I've got it's funny because I have the 3D version of Gravity.
You do.
But this just came. It just showed up.
Okay.
And while I appreciate this, I love Gravity. I don't know why, but I want to
saw that on Blu-ray.com, but I don't know if what's different about it.
I don't know, but I want to thank Warner Brothers and Warner Archive for sending me this. It was a lovely surprise. I had no idea why I got it, but I got it. And then this showed up. Could you show this? You know, thank you, Kino Lorber, Monk Season 5.
Nice.
You know,
finally.
Now, since we're on the Kino Lorber, I'll show you my Kino Lorber haul. Yep. Look at this. This is very welcome.
Oh, you got it. I got delay messages from Amazon. Delay messages.
Yeah. Well, can we talk about? We're going to talk about that in a minute. Fletch and Fletch Lives from Kino Lorber. Thank you. Legacy special features are on these discs. They come with O-ring slipcases. So I love that about Kino Lorber. Then a documentary about movie props, Mad Props, collecting one at a time. So that came out. That was pretty cool. And then Nancy Savoca's True Love, that stars Annabelle Sciorra and Ron Eldard, came out. True Love, they put out her film Dogfight. Actually, Warner Archive put out Dogfight. Now they're putting out True Love. So if you like Nancy Savoca, who was at the front edge of the independent cinema explosion of the late 80s, she's quite a lovely filmmaker. Now, this might be, though, my favorite thing that Kino Lorber put out this week, except for one exception. This is a movie called The Road to Ruin, and it was originally a 1928 silent movie, and then they remade it in 1934. 1934. You got to see this cover. This is a very famous movie. Look at this cover. The Devil, somebody's getting it on. It's a pre-code movie.
Yeah.
Modern Youth, Burned at the Altar of Innocence. A timely warning to parents of the day.
A video nasty from back, really back in the day.
Something weird video. Kino puts it out. And there's a lot of great bonus features. This movie is fucking hilarious. And if you haven't seen it, when you look back and you see how things have changed, if they only knew their daughters would be on OnlyFans, who knows? But anyway, this is great. It is, and by the way, this is volume 15 of their Forbidden Fruit, the Golden Age of the Exploitation Picture. This movie's hilarious. Get your friends, get some dank nugs, blaze them up, get really high, and watch this. Because not that I'm not advocating for drug use, but this movie, hilarious, truly hilarious. So that was my haul from Kino Lorber. Or there was one thing I forgot. No, that was it. Nope. Yep. Kino. Oh no, there was this too, which I don't know anything about. This. It's called What Rhymes with Reason. Love Overcomes the Darkness. You're loved by more than your likes. A coming of age teen film everyone should see. I've never heard of this movie. Don't know what it is, but they sent it to me on DVD, and everyone in it I've never heard of, but that's okay.
Cat in the bag, Rob.
Cat in the bag. True cat in the bag. So that was my Kino Lorber haul, but I've got more. Well, wait. I got one more thing to show. My favorite thing that Kino Lorber put out. I'll show that later. What'd you get?
What I got, Rob, from Warner Archive. Like I said, I'm really interested in comparing it to the series I got with.
You got Little Drummer Girl. Thank you, George Roy Hill, the director of Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and World According to Garp.
So I'm really looking forward to it, so I can compare it to the series. And then, Rob, you showed this on your show where you were alone, and I screamed from the heavens, I pre-ordered it already, Rob, but I haven't watched it yet. You know, the invisible fight,
Yep.
Kung Fu as comedy, landing across between Shaolin Soccer and Jim Carter, but I haven't watched it yet. But for me, this was already
you had to get it.
A pre-order purchase, yeah. And I saw you had it too. Nice yellow disc inside. Then a little bit of the pinky violent stuff that you told me about. I got female Yakuza tale.
Oh, I forgot to get that.
Which comes with a different cover artwork underneath it. Really nice. And there are coming a lot of pinky violent stuff is coming out.
Yeah, you know what?
Always
hot
good.
Asian girls killing people. You can never go wrong with nudity and what's wrong? Nothing.
Last Sunday I watched this movie and really, really great. I don't know if you have heard about it. The Japanese movie, Rob, Monster.
Yes, I've heard about it.
Really great. You get different perspectives from the main characters and everything comes together. So the story structure is not really something new, but you get one puzzle piece at a time until you get the full picture. So really nice one. You can, Rotten Tomato sticker, you can remove the sticker if you want. It's just attached. It's not imprinted on the cover. A nice, like Mark Hamill would say, a nice, totally fine thriller. Nothing special, but really not that bad. With Orlando Bloom, red right hand. So really nice one. Nothing that will blow your mind, but considering during the running time, you will be entertained. Unfortunately, no reversible cover artwork, so I have to live with that intense rating logo here on the German Blu-ray. But at least it's 18, Rob. So that's good. That's a plus.
That means violence and nudity. Yeah,
exactly. The next one is A Cat in the Bag, and I think this was the first one with Shogun, which was in So Close. Perhaps you know the movie, Rob. Millennium Mambo. Is it called?
Yeah, I have that. I own that movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I have. I want to say, did I get that on Radiance? I might have got that on Radiance.
That could be. So we got a little bit postcard. Here are the other films.
Yeah.
That is German label. Let me just see. Is it Rapid Eye Movies? I think it's Rapid Eye Movies. And we've got a little bit of a booklet too in it.
Nice.
So, Millennium Mambo. And considering that release, because many people, of course, myself included, were a little bit pissed considering removing the stickers from the James Cameron titles, And this one just had the stickers, on the cellophane,
Nice.
Not on the cover itself. So it's easily doable. The next one, Rob, I couldn't wait, I know, but don't worry. I will get the second side too, but I had to get it, Rob. I had to get it because it's out in 4K in France. So I couldn't wait. Nature is out in 4K in France.
I wonder if they got. I wonder though if they got Second Sight's, because I wonder if they got Second Sight's master.
I don't know about the master, and I hope, Rob, that Second Sight.
Come on, bro. Have you watched that yet? Have you thrown that bad boy on? And
I hope Second Sight can take a little bit more out of the master. It's fine, but considering I was already fine with the German Blu-ray, so I was not blown away. And there is a big caveat with this one, Rob. Forced French subtitles.
No.
Forced. Yeah. The only good thing with my Panasonic, I could really put them completely out of the picture. You can
but
up
still,
where you want the subtitles to have.
That's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
That's how the French work, Rob.
But
what can
you know why? I mean, that might have been contingent to their release of that.
Exactly.
To curtail anyone else buying it. But you know what? I mean, because Second Sight spent a long time on this transfer. And, it's, for me, I don't know when we're going to get it, but it's certainly one of the highlights of 2024.
Yeah. I will hope, Rob, that the black levels, they can push the black levels a little bit, the sharpness a little bit, and a little bit punchier colors.
Well, I mean, Second Sight was showing their mixing example, and it looked like, I mean, what can you tell from Twitter photos and something, but it looked pretty impressive. Yeah. And after what they did to It Follows, which is one of the, it was a revelation.
Yeah.
They're doing the Lord's work over there. You know how
we have Rob, just stumbled across it, a little bit of a picture comparison here, considering how it looked and how does it look now.
Wow, okay. Does it say anything about Second Sight in there?
I looked, Rob, but I couldn't find any specific details on it. At least it's a nice media book. It comes with the making of that I knew already from our German media book that was on there, is on here.
That's good.
On here too. And there's actually a nice, but only in French, Rob, with French subtitles, a nice documentary with Rutger Hauer itself just on it. So wait, people, for the Second Sight one, because this one forced subtitles, Rob. But like you said, it's probably a license.
Yeah, it might be a factor of the
Yeah. So this is a little bit of my first haul, Rob.
Well, I have something that I got in the mail that I'd like to read.
Yeah.
It's long.
Okay.
It's long. It's from our own moderator, Tom Jr. Jackson, who is in the process of moving. And this is, you don't see this very often, handwritten letter. So if you might indulge me, Dieter.
Yeah.
This was written on April 15th, 2024. Greetings, Rob. So I'm writing this letter after watching Let's Get Physical Media. One of the people in the chat was asking about the episode where you fell asleep. It made me decide to go through the episodes of Midnight Metal to find it. Now, since I know it was a Halloween episode, I was going to use my Columbo-like research skill to find it. Well, while I was looking, I stumbled upon an episode titled We Are All Goof People. Not only is this the episode where both yourself and invited me on to talk about the letter I wrote to you, but it is also where you asked me if it was okay to adopt the "we're all goof people" into the lexicon of the Burnettwork. I remember this episode well because I had a lot of questions, but because you had a lot of questions about my kidney transplants. As I write this letter, I am watching the interview, which is trippy because a lot of the things are flooding in my mind. First off, it blows my mind that this interview happened 2 years ago. It was also the night that told you about wanting to do a PGS All-Stars show, and during the interview, you had her do a little pilot for it, using me as a test guest. I remember it threw her for a loop because she wasn't prepared to do it. But once she started, she ran with it and was a pro. I knew right there she was going to do an awesome job. She still does a fantastic job with her shows because this will all be before she had the channel Positive Fandom. I also remember you opening up to myself and about your adoption story because you were talking about going to Portland to shoot Crisis Medicine. So I pointed out that if people really wanted to know more about it, to check out the Robservations episode where you not only interview your 100% biological sister, but also interviewed your friend who created Crisis Medicine, which in my opinion is one of your finest episodes to date that you've done. Looking back on this episode, I see how lucky I am to have made two really good friends, that being yourself and There is also this dynamic between the three of us as well, almost like the three of us could host a show or something. This was also happening around the time that I kept bringing up the Kino Lorber was going to release To Live and Die in LA on 4K, and you loving that. I kept that going on Twitter as well. The question I want to know is, did you know that Kino Lorber released To Live and Die in LA on 4K disc? Well, you should jump on it, sir.
It is time.
While I'm writing this letter, I'm actually messaging RM and telling her about this episode that I found, and she and I are reminiscing about it as well. How she and I used to get up at 3 a.m. Eastern to do the show, and how this episode ran well into 8 a.m. Eastern, almost 5 hours. Like towards the end of the show, a kind of sense memory came to mind. I had the window open, and that night, because it was already morning, I remember the feeling that cool, crisp morning air coming in through the window. I should say that originally this letter was going to be about a completely different subject. We will come back to that one at a later date. Trust me, that one is a great subject. I remember how you were joking around about how I was a crisis actor and on the other side of the world and really an 18-year-old girl trying to get rich quick. Watching you do that in this interview still made me laugh. It's hard to believe that this was all because you said that everyone you meet has a story to tell, and I accepted the challenge and told you mine. It's a shame that no one else has taken the challenge to do the same, because by doing it, it shows that we're just more than the names on a screen, but also people. Well, Rob, thanks for taking the trip down memory lane with me. Thank you for being my friend as well. You see, as a fan, I would want an autograph, but I've got something far better. I got a really good friend out of all this. Also, thank you for course-correcting my taste in films. And, as always, have a better day. Tom Jr. Jackson. P.S. If you want to read this on the show, go for it. Well, Tom, you know what? I'm sorry I can't read this on the show. It just can't be done.
No.
But what a lovely letter. What a lovely letter.
Right.
Thank you for that, Tom. And as Tom said and reminded us in this letter, we are all goof people. All of us. Cheers to you. I don't have any alcoholic beverage with me today, but let's cheers to Tom Jr. Jackson, his move, his friendship, and his ongoing health.
Nice. And I got one letter to Rob from our friend Paul Allen Brunotto. Let me just see where I have it. Here it is. And he says, "Hello, Rob and Ida. Some of my favorite movies from the 70s are not yet on 4K. Here's a small list of them. 1, Blazing Saddles. 2, 5 Easy Pieces. 3, Monty Python and the Holy Grail. 4, Paper Moon. 5, My Name is Nobody. 6, They Call Me Trinity. 7, They Still Call Me Trinity. 8, Young Frankenstein. 2 titles not from the 70s, Kiss Me Deadly and 10, The Big Town. Lead and Rob, what are some of your favorite movies from the 70s, not yet on 4K? Thank you as always. Catch you later, Paul Allen Brunotto. Rob, have you a movie from the 70s that you are looking forward?
Are you kidding me? First of all, Chinatown's finally coming out on 4K, but hello, Logan's Run. I mean, I've got Rollerball on 4K, but from multiple companies, but not Logan's Run. But no, I would say that there's some French Connection, Patton. There's so many Zardoz.
Getting back to the 20th Century Fox titles.
I mean, there's so many films that from the 70s that I mean, I'm surprised. I will say this though, if you look at this pie chart, this week's chart, DVD the week ending April 20th, insane. Of all the physical media sold, 70.2% was still DVD, Blu-ray was 22.2%, and UHD 4K is 7.6%. So every week it's different. If a big catalog title comes out in 4K, people buy it. But people have to remember that the 4K market overall is much smaller than either the Blu-ray market or the DVD market. And while I personally think that there should be an effort made, like I think the studios should be preserving all of their movies. They should do color separation, celluloid color separations for all their films. And if a movie only exists digitally, they should go back and do celluloid color separations that can last up to 100 years, because movies that only exist digitally are in danger. So I wish they would do that. It's just, it's expensive. And while I do think, 4K is where we know physical media is going. That'll be the last physical media format. That doesn't mean our TV screens. The human eye can only see the equivalent of 4 to 5K anyway. But, they remastered 7 and 8K. And while we're not getting it anytime soon, it is coming out. They played the restoration at TCM at the Turner Classic Movies Festival last week in Hollywood. We should just be preserving all films and future-proofing them. But that's a factor of what does our civilization think is important. Studio Canal over in France are doing some really interesting preservations. Like they're doing the Ealing Studios movies. They're Kind Hearts and Coronets, and they've got the Lavender Hill Mob. They're doing all that stuff. Those Ealing Studios films that I love so much, those are coming out. But I agree, it's just expensive. And with all the films, there's thousands of movies that are not on, some aren't even on home video yet. But, as much as Logan's Run meant something to me growing up, kids today don't know what Logan's Run is. So it's like, and the people
out of your shelf,
I hate to say it, but I'll say it again. Pop culture in my mind has a half-life of 20 years. And every 20 years that goes by, people remember, the same way that plutonium or whatever decays, we're gonna see that happening. And so, the art of cinema has only been around for a little over 100 years, and we don't know where that's going. Will movies last as long as Shakespeare? I don't know. So where's the wherewithal? We can't even keep streaming services alive, and the studios, the business of motion pictures is in such a state of shambles that it's amazing we're getting anything at all. And we're only getting things because the people at the studios don't know fuck all about the movie business. A good friend of mine said he had lunch with the studio executive this past week, and the studio executive said to him that if you want to come to a studio to find out how the movie business works, don't, because no one at the studios know how the movie business works. And I believe that. That's why we're very lucky to have people like George Feltenstein, and they're doing the curated Looney Tunes collection. And since somebody brought it up and it's in the super chat, let me pull the super chat up because this is important. Danzig 1979 sends in a super chat and said, George Feltenstein and the Warner Archive team, you are the best. The Flash, which is this, The Flash, the 1990s series with John Wesley Shipp, The complete series is on Blu-ray, and they're using the original masters for the show. So Danzig says, I salute you. And I'll tell you something. Look, a guy like George Feltenstein is putting out the best material he can find with the highest bit rates. And he's a studio executive. I mean, frankly, the government should pay him and make him the overseer of all the studios and be in charge of all of... I'm not kidding. Because there's very few institutional knowledge that George Feltenstein has with a lifetime. His entire adult life has been spent in the service of preserving our great cinematic legacy. And the breadth of his knowledge is astonishing. And there's no one else working at the studios that come close. I mean, not even like... If he's the pinnacle, if he's the Zeus, on the Mount Olympus of physical media people in Hollywood, there's no one who's even a mountain climber that can come anywhere near him. And we need those people. All the people that knew what they were doing they've all been retired out because they were expensive. Yep. But nowadays, I mean, as I talked about this, Jerry Seinfeld made the point that movies don't exist in the same way they used to exist in terms of our culture. They don't have the meaning. Right. And yeah, he's right. And I've been saying on my show now for 6 years that the 20th century was movies, cinema was the art form of the 20th century. It is not the art form anymore. Young people don't look to cinema the way they used to. The studios don't look to cinema the way they used to. Movie making, the art of cinema is sort of, when Scorsese complains, and I don't want people to come after me and goes, well, are you going to say superhero movies aren't cinematic? No, I'm not going to say that. What I'm saying is that the subject matter, I mean, the movie that we watched last night that Eric Romer made in 1987, no studio would make this movie about these two girls tooling around Paris having these innocuous conversations about their lives. I thought it was delightful. It would never get made today. And the studios are creating global entertainment for a global marketplace. They're not making cinema. And when I say cinema, they're not making like Truffaut's The 400 Blows. They're not making that. And no one else is either, not at the studio level, but they used to. Meaning stories, you had all kinds of stories coming from studios. You had biopics and comedy, romantic comedies and regular comedies, dramas, thrillers, all these different kinds of movies with different kinds of filmmakers and different kinds of techniques. All that is gone by the wayside. Now we get Godzilla x Kong from Warner Brothers. It's just the way it is.
Yep.
So, Mr. Bruno, love you, by the way, man. By the way, Dieter, I noticed you have something behind you.
I have something behind you, Rob.
Are those signed, Dieter? What are those?
Unbelievable, Rob. That will blow your mind. You can send somebody something and you get it back. Rob, it can happen. It can happen. And not only that, what she wrote on this one, Rob.
Well, you have to explain. Wait. You haven't explained what those are yet. I teed it up, man. If this was a volleyball game, you failed. I said it to you. You got to spike it. Come on.
Yeah. As some people might recall, it's not that long ago, we had a little bit of a special episode here on Let's Get Physical Media where Cynthia Rothrock, one of my favorites, was our interview partner. And Paul N. Brunotto, one of our viewers, made it possible. And he said, Dietz, do you want Cynthia to sign something? And I said, yeah, why not? And since I'm not greedy, Rob, I sent multiple things for her to sign, Not only one, since I'm not greedy, But she got lucky.
No.
It could have been way more, And I sent it to Paul. And Paul even had to send it further to his wife, Sonia, because she was in LA. She did get it to Sonia. And the only thing I wanted, Rob, like with you did, that step, that you got right, Rob. Evidence. I need evidence that people signed the stuff, That wasn't Paul. And I always get great videos from me. But then that last step, putting it back and sending it back, that's the last step. But it's possible. And here, Rob, this was my favorite because I did get the photos from Paul, but I didn't know exactly what she wrote on it. And Paul helped her a little bit out because, Rob, she wrote, to Dieter, you're my favorite trash panda on this one. You know, on the Shanghai Police. Here we have the book that was in the Righting Wrongs. To Dieter, all the best from Cynthia. Then, of course, we have Yes, Madam, or in Germany it was Ultra Force 2, or In the Line of Duty. To Dieter, love Cynthia. And here, she was great. Not here, but she signed the disc itself, Rob. So I wasn't greedy, Rob. I wasn't greedy, you know. Just 4 pieces, you know.
Just four pieces.
So thank you, Cynthia, for really delivering. And speaking of Cynthia, we have, you know, I didn't send her this because it's a little bit Photoshop. It's not really her, so I didn't.
Right.
Didn't send it. But this is the Inspector vs. Skirts series because I didn't know. I know that movie, but we had the second one, and now 88 Films, Rob, put out the third one. I didn't even know there was a third one of the series. We got the original Hong Kong cover inside, and once again, poster. Don't put it out because it's the same as the.
And you have pictures of her signing these discs on your Instagram feed.
Exactly, Rob. Because I need evidence, Rob. I need evidence.
Right.
I need evidence.
I know.
And even Inspector vs. Skirts number 4, Rob. So this series here, it was titled Top Squad, the first, with Cynthia had a little role in it, has actually four parts, which is crazy to me. So thanks again, Paul, and thanks, Cynthia, for these treasures.
Rob, let's
say go through the super chats.
Yeah, we got some super chats.
Yeah.
And let me just go back here. And Justin Toner says, hi, guys. This week, I put in a big order with Disney Movie Club before it shuts down in May. I got Aliens and the Abyss 4Ks at 60% off. By the way, Amazon has yet to send me
60% off.
If I don't get an Abyss with a slipcover, I'm gonna be pissed.
Ooh.
I don't have mine yet. I'm gonna be pissed. Yeah. Along with the animated Aladdin 4K, Alice in Wonderland, The Great Mouse Detective, and The Martian. I saved a lot of money. Yes, you did. Our friend Kelvin Wellborn, all the way down under. Kelvin says, Rob, give Dietz a pay raise. 1 hour with you is 2.5 plus with Dieter.
How does that work?
I don't know what that means. I guess I have to give you a pay raise. I guess that Can
you repeat it, Rob?
Oh, I think it's that he's saying that I do a show for an hour if I'm by myself, but we do a 2.5 hour show.
Oh, okay.
Same show. So Vic Hibbler writes in and says, sorry if you've covered this. Do you know anything about a 4K of Master and Commander? I do. You know what I know about a 4K Master and Commander?
Nothing.
That's a fucking Fox movie. Fuck you, 20th Century Studios. Actually, I shouldn't say that. Fuck you, Disney. You know what you've done with the Fox library since you bought them 5 years ago? Zero. You have done zero except with the Cameron titles. I mean, I'll come over there. I'll put my services down. I don't know who you got running things, but just let me and Bill Hunt from the Digital Bits and borrow George Feltenstein from Warner Brothers, and we will put out. But you've got Sony. They do have Sony, and Sony knows what's up. So maybe Sony will be the first to announce Zardoz in 4K.
Yeah. And speaking of Master and Commander, Rob, one of perhaps Critical Drinker's favorite movies, Russell Crowe comes out with a new exorcism movie. Didn't he do The Pope's Exorcist already?
He did.
Another. What is wrong with Russell Crowe and his exorcism?
I think he's playing an actor though. This one that is playing an exorcist. I don't really know. I saw the trailer for it. Yeah. Look, I'll watch Russell Crowe in anything. Yeah. You know.
Yeah.
Because I am always entertained. I am always entertained.
Okay.
So yeah, that's what I know about Master and Commander. It's Fox, which means we'll probably never get it, and that's so lame because that movie would be so beautiful in 4K with a Dolby Atmos mix.
And I think the Blu-ray is already pretty old, Rob. I think it was already.
It is old.
Really early release, considering the Blu-ray format.
By the way, Vic goes on to say, Dieter, I'm slowly I'm slowly learning German listening to Rammstein.
Okay. That's one way to go.
So far, I can count to 10 and say Rammstein.
There you go. Dann geht das links. Links 2, 3, 4.
Tom Jr. Jackson. He celebrates 42 months of membership. And when he saw Wicked Little Letters, I saw a trailer for Love Lies Bleeding in a theater full of little old ladies, and their reactions were priceless.
I can only imagine.
You know, it was funny, that French movie about these two girls that we were watching last night. I knew it was Eric Romer, and I knew it was 1987. But I did take a little bit of a risk because I didn't look into it, and I'm like, is this going to wind up being like Blue is the Warmest Color? Thankfully, it did not.
It did
not.
Your choices are getting riskier, Rob, with your
Blue is the Warmest Color is still the greatest comic book movie ever made.
And I didn't even know it was a comic, Rob, when I watched
Based on a French graphic novel.
Yeah.
So, Tom Jr. Jackson says, I'll have a steak sandwich, a Bloody Mary, and a steak sandwich and charge it to the Underhills. I love Fletch. Pure classic. It is. It's a great movie. I love Fletch. It's great to have it. Stubble McShave says, I love the new Shogun, especially the political drama, but I think it's a sign of the times that they removed most of the romance from it. I also think that Rodriguez was sorely missed in the second half of the series. In total, I'd give it an 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, John Rhys-Davies played Rodriguez in the original, and he basically disappears in the show, which was odd. I mean, all of that stuff, they got rid of all of like the church, the Portuguese, all those machinations were, and I understand like why
now as you say it, Rob, it's gotten a little bit into the background considering the second half of the
and again, because they focused more on the Japanese side of things, which I can understand why they did that. It's just a different approach. So I get it. Luis Feliciano asks if Saint Laurent from 2014, the 10th anniversary on 4K or Criterion. I don't think that there's any plans for that.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah, I don't think so. But an interesting French film. Why not? And I remember I saw that movie when it came out. You know, it's about just like you would imagine, Yves Saint Laurent. Yves Saint Laurent. I don't know how to speak French, but Léa Seydoux in it. So I don't know. I mean, maybe somebody will put that out.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was distributed by Europa Corp, which is the company that distributed all of. Why am I drawing a blank on his name? You know, the Professional, Leon the Professional, La Femme Nikita, Luc Besson's movies. So I don't know. I honestly don't know.
La Femme Nikita, since you mentioned Luc Besson, will get a 3-disc release here. The 4K and 2 Blu-rays will be attached.
Oh, really? Is that a German media book?
I think it's a steelbook, Rob.
Oh, nice.
I have to get that. And it has a different cover artwork. So I actually like the Sony one more, but I believe I will go with the 3-disc set, of course, here.
Nice. Major Chai Chai gifted 5 members.
Nice.
Memberships to you guys. We had a great member chat yesterday. Major Chai Chai was there. And I'm sorry she didn't win for her Witch King Agmar costume. But there you go. So it was good to see her. And I still want to get that Lego Sopwith camel set. Just saying. So we're there. Do we have any more? Our website's down, so we haven't been able to get letters like we used to.
But I have more stuff to show, Rob.
I do too.
If you want. Okay, who starts?
Why don't you start? Go ahead.
Okay. Rob, I want a sequel. I want a sequel to The Beekeeper. Because I had a blast yesterday with the movie. And considering, Rob, we have a 40 million movie that makes around 150 worldwide. So I would say we are in the clear. And then we have Expendables 4, like a Statham movie, costing 100 and not even making 40. That says it all. Because I had a blast with The Beekeeper. It's the German media book with the 4K and the Blu-ray. Really great. Had a great time with it. What a blast. I want a sequel, Rob. I want a sequel to
David Ayer, man. Knocked that one out of the park.
Really? Yeah. This one, I know it's just an upscale, but I waited for the English one, the holdovers, 4K, and the Blu-ray came out in England from, I think, Dazzler. Is it? Yeah. Dazzler put it out in 4K. And they put out the outfit in 4K too in the UK. But this is an upscale because I think the master is just a 2K master. I don't know if you perhaps got the steelbook, Rob, but I didn't like the motif of the steelbook. It was a hot topic here, so I just got the normal one of the Departed.
Yeah, I would really like to have mine, but I didn't. It's been somehow they didn't have it to send me. I got the steelbook.
You got the steelbook, okay.
Yeah.
But the steelbook is just a 4K too, Rob, or does the steelbook come with the Blu-ray too?
I couldn't tell because I don't have it because those idiots haven't sent it to me yet.
Okay, this is just the 4K, and I think the Blu-ray in the set is perhaps the old one. Rob, perhaps you can help me out because this looks right up perhaps our alley, but I haven't seen it. Cat in the Bag, the movie Monolith. You heard?
Yeah, okay. So this is a really I have not seen this movie, but I'm very intrigued by this movie. It's about a woman who starts a podcast somehow and goes down a road of conspiracy theories and believing in, I don't know, aliens or whatever it is. It sounded really interesting. It got sort of mixed reviews, but it interests me intellectually from an intellectual.
A quote on the back says, "A cinematic magic trick," and the writer, producer, director, audio commentary, and behind the scenes is attached to the Blu-ray too. So Monolith. Another one, I think it's on Max. I always try to say HBO Max, but it's gotten a Blu-ray release here. And I think it's gotten good reviews from the It Girl at the moment, Sydney Sweeney. I got Reality. Rob, have you seen the movie Reality?
No.
Sydney. I heard it's got good reviews. It's perhaps a little bit an older one.
That's about Reality Winner, the woman who became a whistleblower or she stole secrets and stuff. Yeah,
exactly. Reality. The next one, Rob, I'm normally not big into documentaries, but this one, I saw the cover. I need to get it. But I waited for a price drop. I wanted to be a Schnäppchen, but the price really didn't drop. And then on Amazon, the counter was only 6 in store. And I thought, better get it now before it's not available anymore. I got the documentary Sirens. It's about a female thrash metal band in Beirut, Lebanon, so not really the best place to play that kind of music, So really nice one, Rob. And strangely, in the end credits, as executive producer, Rob, I stumbled across Natasha Lyonne and Maya Rudolph, strangely enough. So really, really nice documentary about this female metal band from Beirut who likes to play thrash metal. And not only that, Rob, once again, that could be a nice double feature with Love Lies Bleeding and The Bone Woman too, because there's a little bit of a relationship going on here. That kind of country. And it features even, you probably remember that insane explosion in the port of Beirut,
Yeah.
It was just insane. It's featured in here too. Insane stuff. So a little bit another part of my haul, but I still have some titles to go. I give it over to you.
Well, I got something from Eureka I was looking forward to. The 1927 silent film, The Cat and the Canary.
I saw that from Kevin Welber on Instagram.
Yeah, and it does have a reversible sleeve. And of course, Carl Laemmle and Universal put this out. This is a silent comedic horror film right on the cusp of the silent era, turning into the sound era. This movie's been filmed a number of times. I love this movie, along with a movie called The Old Dark House. You know, you can watch them together; they go really well together. If you'll indulge me and watch a silent movie, it's got German expressionist influences in the film that are very apparent. So but it's also funny. And these horror comedies kind of came out of the stage. You know, they a lot of them originated as stage plays. And again, this is a great version of it looks incredible. You know, as much as a silent film can look, they did a really great job. I really like these Eureka packages. They're chock-a-block full of special features and all kinds of interesting information on the making of the film. So I was happy to get this. Very happy to get this.
And the stage play, Rob, is a great blueprint already for making a feature.
Yeah, absolutely. Then, of course, my favorite thing that I got from Kino Lorber this week. In 4K.
Okay.
High Noon with Gary Cooper, one of the world's great Westerns, and, of course, Grace Kelly. In 4K, this looks amazing, and it is a Dolby Vision Master, and it's Paramount. Isn't it Paramount? I think it's Paramount.
Yeah.
The great.
So they licensed that movie out, Rob.
Dude, I don't get it. You know, I don't know what Paramount's doing. Apparently you just have money and you ask to license a Paramount movie out, they'll give it to you. But at least they'll put out Chinatown. Now again, you know, you've got your O-ring. I love this art, by the way. But then you've got a second. You got a second art like that, and because Kino Lorber knows when they've got nice things, unlike some people.
A third one, Rob.
There's a third one.
Ooh, that's going to be a tough choice now.
You know what I think I'm going to do? I'm going to use this one because it's got Grace Kelly featured, and you know,
the back one doesn't look that Western to me.
No, it doesn't. And I'll tell you, Grace Kelly, like Sharon Stone in Basic Instinct, come on, gotta love them. So yeah, that's cool. Plus, yeah, this is more sexy.
Yeah.
So there you go. This came out in 4K, and again from Kino Lorber. I don't know if this came out this week or it comes out next week. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But Kino Lorber dropping the heat in 4K. Yeah, we need more 4K Westerns. We need The Searchers. We need The Wild Bunch. Stagecoach.
And the other one that you showed, Rob, the box set, got great reviews. The Cold 45, was it? Cold 45?
That was the TV series that I knew nothing about. Got
great reviews.
That's Warner Archive.
Yeah.
That's where do I have that? It's up here. It's like grab it.
I know the box set.
Yeah, that's good.
It's got great reviews.
And then let's hear it for Severin.
Ooh, okay. Video nasties. You got video nasties?
Severin put this out before. Yeah, Lucio Fulci's erotic thriller, The Devil's Honey, a sleazy masterpiece.
That's a great cover.
It's a great cover, and you know what? They don't stop there. I love this. They have Severin's got kind of like that same Vinegar Syndrome-y, like matte finish. But then you've got, in case you were looking for something subtle, look at that cover.
I think this was the cover that you showed on the news, Rob, without a slip cut. There was no, the O-ring didn't show up. I think this was the one that you presented on the news.
Yeah, and that's not the only one. So you've also got this one. Now, I had never bought this, and I put this on, and this is what they say, a sleazy masterpiece. You know, Lucio Fulci is in this movie and plays a character.
Okay. When did he?
I want to say this is 88,
movie, Rob.
88, 87.
So actually not that old.
Not that long ago. It's bizarre, graphic, and harrowing. You know, you could never. It's not quite 70s bush porn, but it's sleazy and fun, and it's got a great soundtrack. They actually have an interview with the guy who wrote the soundtrack on this disc, and this has a ton of special features. Severin does a good job.
And transfer great too.
It's great. It looks. I mean, it looks great for us. And you know, for people that are going to delve into a lot of these Italian horror or Italian, a lot of people they can't get past the fact that the dubbing. You know, a lot of the time they shot these movies MOS, mid-out sound, so they don't film them with dialogue being recorded on the set. Exactly. So they can dub it in later.
Movies.
Yeah, and people sometimes today they have a real hard time with that.
Yeah,
but that's great. And then
because the problem is, Rob, the problem is, Rob, no matter how dub you choose, no dub is fitting. You know, if you watch it on English or Italian or in German, no dub is fitting.
Yeah, no. And then also a nice, they put this out in 4K. Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. Oh yeah, this is a nice piece of twisted horror cinema from the early 80s.
I think Paul from Netflix is prepping a 4K comparison.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. They made like a Video Nasty's box cover of the VHS just called Nightmare Maker. This has been released under a number of different titles actually, and then there is this cover as well.
I think I got the older Blu-ray, but even the Blu-ray was released not that long ago.
No, I mean this is a total double dip, but I never bought the Blu-ray.
Totally.
So I the 4K for this, and this, you know, what's funny about this film is it's one of those movies I'm surprised to see it on 4K. I mean, it's crazy that you can get a beautiful Severin release of this with a beautiful O-ring, and you can't get Chinatown yet. But not that's yet, okay.
But it's coming.
She was lonely. He was all she had. No one would take him from her and live. So everyone. Yeah, here we go. Butcher Baker Nightmare Maker. You go, Severin. It's funny. I mean, I was talking to Rob Galuzzo about this, Rob G. And he's a friend of mine. He just put up all the archives of his horror website, which is really worth going to check out. And we talk about this stuff. Like, I feel like when this stuff comes out from Severin in 4K, like, or something Blue Underground puts out in 4K, you kind of have to buy it just to support their efforts. Even though I don't know how many times I'm going to watch these as I take a breath on this planet.
But some stuff we just like to own, Rob, you know?
It's true. It's true. So...
Like that Serbian movie, you know. Just to know that we own that movie, you know. Dave is not happy about that.
Someone's gonna burst into my house going, "This guy owns a Serbian film." Rolling Thunder. Shout Factory's Rolling Thunder came out. Haven't even popped it open, but love this movie. You know, another Paul Schrader wrote this one. Another shattering experience from the author of Taxi Driver. Happy to have this in 4K. This is a perennial video favorite, Quentin Tarantino favorite. Apparently, this is interesting. So, Quentin Tarantino canceled his movie, The Movie Critic, but he was going to recreate the end, or apparently the end of this movie, the original end of this movie or something. And Paul Schrader on social media said he's bummed out that he's not going to see the original ending of this movie recreated. So... shout out to Paul Schrader and Quentin Tarantino. Who knows what your 10th film is, but Paul Schrader's disappointed that the end of Rolling Thunder, the alternate ending, is not going to be recreated by Mr. Tarantino. So, what can you do?
Let's see and wait what Quentin will come up with. But at least, from my perspective, as far as I know, the movie was not in production yet, so okay.
Yeah. He just decided to abandon it. He probably thought it was too self-indulgent or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's my haul for the week.
Okay. Should we go? Do we have some super chats, or should I show my last titles?
Let's see if I don't know if we have super chats or anything like that. Let me delve into that. No. Let me check there, and let me check the one other section.
Yeah.
Hold on. Going to the
Streamlabs.
A World in Pajamas.
Yeah.
Says, Hey guys, something to make you laugh. If you want to dispose of a dead body or something naughty, just bury it under endangered plants because it would be illegal to disturb the plants, so no one could dig it up. We'll leave it to a scientist to tell you that. Endangered plants.
Plants.
That's very interesting.
Not a bad idea.
I can't. That's pretty amazing. Louis Feliciano says Coma, 2022, and more than ever 2022. Criterion, the last two films of Gaspard Ulel. Can't believe there's no Bertrand Bonello film on Criterion. Well, I know. What can you say? That you might be pushing it. You might be pushing it, but maybe you never know. There's still time, Luis. Walter White Walker says, "How many seasons? However many seasons it gets, I just want the final shot of For All Mankind to be an alien ship, and just before first contact, we cut to black." I love that would idea. I think that would be a great.
That would be awesome.
By the way,
but great that we got the fifth season.
Luis Feliciano became a member of the channel as well.
Nice.
And of course, Paul Allen Bernotto says, "What's all that signed stuff behind Dieter? I wonder."
I wonder too, Paul.
So there you go. And so we are caught up. Oh, BDEP.
Yeah, BDEP.
BDEP says. Wait, I forgot to put myself back on camera.
Yeah.
BDEP says, "Hey, Rob and Dieter, supporting my favorite show. I can't wait for Under the Rainbow in HD. Thanks to you and Mr. Feldstein. Have a great week." Well, I cannot speak for George. I was going to go on. He did a Zoom chat with this new review platform that the studios are using, and I forgot it was this week. I was going to go on and harass him, but I was working, so I didn't do that. But one day, Under the Rainbow is going to come out. I swear to you. I'm sure it will. Here, I'm not speaking for George. That's just a personal opinion. I'm just saying. So,
Rob, do you want to do perhaps the news? Do you have some news?
Do I have news? I was just looking to see. By the way, there is no reverse slipcover for Rolling Thunder. I just want to see if there was. All the news that's fit to print. I can do that. You want me to do the news?
Yeah.
First of all, I want to tell you, we are getting ready to launch our Kickstarter for True Noir.
Nice.
The Assassination of Anton Cermak, part of the Nathan Heller case files. It's probably going to launch in a couple of days. And I got to tell you, so Max Allan Collins, this is based on his 19 novel deep series of Nathan Heller detective novels. And as I've been telling people, it's a fictional detective taking part in actual real historical events. And
so a little bit like For All Mankind, just True Noir.
Well, it's not an alternate universe, so the actual events happen the way they happen. But it's not like Quentin Tarantino changing history. He does copious amounts of historical research, but it's pretty cool. And I have to tell you, I got his second full script in for the audio drama, and I'm almost like not worthy. His work is so good. These are going to be, I know I'm directing it and producing it, so what am I going to say, right? But I can honestly say that his scripts, this material is so amazing, and some of the cast that is joining our little company of band of players, as I like to call it, there's the Mercury Theater. Well, if I'm going to name my company of players, I'm going to call them the Venus Theater. All right. But anyway, I'll leave you to decide what that means. All of you know, come on. Would you rather be a male god or a female goddess company of players? You know where my sympathies lie. Anyway, so so it's really great. So look for that. Support if you want, and if not, that's okay. You can listen to it later. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Warner Archive announced again, I love Warner Archive. Act of Violence. Van Heflin and Robert Ryan. Robert Ryan, I missed Van Heflin. He was really pretty much out of cinema by the time I was born. But Van Heflin, I always liked that name. And Phyllis Thaxter is in this as well. But I love this. No Manhunt. The Manhunt no woman could stop. Now, I love that, George, there's recurring themes here, because even when they decide to release things, then we have The Man I Love, There Should Be a Law, Ida Lupino. I mean, it's like, come on. I love this stuff. Between the two of these, you think there was some kind of a theme there?
Box set. Definitely.
I know. And then we've got coming out the original Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Carol Lombard. And you got to love that. So that's coming out too. And, of course, this is a Hitchcock movie. And very excited to get this with Mr. Robert Montgomery. And so another great title. And that's, I mean, always getting a Hitchcock movie. And I'm sure that it's going to look great. And then, of course, we have Joan Crawford in The Shining Hour. Joan, I love this. Joan's a dancing bride. You know, I know it's terrible to say. I'm going to say it. Yeah. I love Mommy Dearest. So does George Feltenstein, by the way. I love Mommy Dearest, and I want it in 4K, but I know that Joan Crawford was a very serious Academy Award-winning actress. But after you've seen Mommy Dearest, when you see stuff like this, Joan's a dancing bride. I'm like, okay, I'm sure she is. But another great banger from Warner Archive. Now, and like their Colt 45 show, Warner Archive is also putting out something I've never seen ever. The Alaskans, the complete series starring Roger Moore. I've never seen this. Don't know anything about it. But
Roger looks pretty young.
Really young. Young man indeed. Young man indeed. And hey, you know what? If you can't get Paramount to release any of their movies like that or like Chinatown, even though they are putting out Chinatown, so kudos to Paramount. You know what they will put out? South Park. 25th anniversary of bigger, longer, and uncut. And they're not only just putting out South Park in 4K, they are also putting out Team America, World Police for its 20th anniversary. I love both of these movies. I'm buying them.
The only question, Rob, do we really need South Park in 4K?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, we do.
Just asking.
Yes, we do. We need everything in 4K. South Park in 4K. Why not?
Okay.
Why not? And then what do we got here? We got coming from Cult Classics. This is Kino. Studio Canal. I can't believe I said Kino. I apologize, Kino. Studio Canal, Soldier Blue. This is kind of this is a kind of a culty movie about this. I saw this once, and this couple escapes from Indians, like the Cheyenne or something, and then
probably the German title is completely different.
Totally different. And then they escape and they go on this odyssey, and then they come back to find those same Cheyenne being slaughtered. And that's kind of how I remember it. I don't know if I'm remembering it well, but interesting. I mean, with all the movies, I love the fact that they're putting this out. Like, I saw this once when I was a kid, and I guess we're getting it, so yay us. And we're getting it from Studio Canal as part of their Cult Classics vintage label. So why not? The cover looks cool. Extra stuff, totally. Putting some time into it. Just don't make it teal and orange.
I would have been right, Rob. The German title is Das Wiegenlied vom Totschlag. I can't even tell you how I would translate it. Let me just look. Try.
What?
Das Wiegenlied vom Totschlag. I was thinking that was the only title I would think would be right. The translation, Rob, is then The Lullaby of Manslaughter.
Really? That's a great title.
Yeah. Das Wiegenlied.
The Lullaby of Manslaughter.
Lullaby of Manslaughter.
All right.
Coming to you.
I'll take it. The Lullaby of Manslaughter. What do we got next? So this is coming out from Arrow. Red Line 7000. This movie is a car racing movie from the 60s, directed by Howard Hawks. I've never seen it. Same guy who directed Wings. Academy Award winner. 40 years later, he directed. Pardon me. Is it Howard Hawks? No, what am I thinking? Howard Hughes. This is directed by Howard Hughes, not Howard Hawks. Howard Hughes. Let me make sure that I don't know. I'm getting old, man. I'm getting old.
Another Arrow release from a Paramount title.
It's an Arrow. It's Paramount. Kino Lorber didn't get this one. But
Everything's for sale at Paramount.
It's true. It is Howard Hawks, not Howard Hughes. I don't know why I was saying Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes is probably dead by now. But it's Howard Hawks. So that's interesting. He did not make Wings. Howard Hawks. Real Bravo, baby. Real Bravo. So Redline, that's cool. I've never even seen this. I'll buy this. Pretty rad. Then they're putting out Loop Track. I believe this is a New Zealand filmmaker. I know nothing about this. Trust your fear. I will trust my fear. And then, of course, we're getting the inevitable. We knew this was coming again. The Last Starfighter 4K HDR again.
Yeah.
You know,
because it was only out, Rob, in the States, I believe.
Yeah.
Not in the UK.
Not in the UK, so putting that. And then this is something I really want. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., the Henry Cavill Man from U.N.C.L.E. I love this movie. Coming out in 4K from Arrow. Very, very exciting. Cliff McMillan over at Arrow's keeping up that relationship with Warner Brothers, putting out some good stuff. So I want that. Then we got, look at this, the back half of Columbo. When they rebooted the series, Columbo the Return, which ran for like 4 years or something. We're getting that.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kino Lorber. Well done. Imprint is putting out the Harvey Keitel, the Film Focus box set of Harvey Keitel movies, which there's a lot of, I mean, there's various releases of things, but I like these things. I mean, this has Imaginary Crimes, Holy Smoke, Clockers, Bad Lieutenant, which is coming out. And if you don't have Bad Lieutenant, why not? So a lot of cool movies in this set. And that's really neat. So good on you, Imprint. Good collection of movies from people we like. 8mm coming out from Imprint. Another Andy. If you like Seven, he wrote Andy Kevin Walker wrote 8mm. Joel Schumacher directed it. Coming out from Imprint in one of their versions, and they do a nice job. They're also putting out The Juror with Alec Baldwin and Demi Moore, which I saw a long time ago. I don't really remember it, but hey, they're putting it out. And then this is something. I mean, we know that Eureka has been putting out Asian cinema, and you might know that I have a fondness for Star Wars ripoffs from foreign countries that were made in the wake of Star Wars that most people don't love, but I love them. The best, of course, being Star Crash. But my second favorite, Vic Morrow Goes to Japan, or I like to say, Sailing Ship in Space. Message from Space, coming out from Masters of Cinema, from Eureka and their Masters of Cinema label. I love this, a remastered Blu-ray. I think a planet, Jalusia, is that the name of the planet? I love Message from Space. I love that it's coming out. I've owned it on physical media a couple of times, but hey.
Paul and Brunotto made me aware of this one. Yeah.
It's great stuff. I used to have some plastic models from this movie of the spaceships, their X-Wing fighter, and they actually had a ship in this that looks surprisingly like a snowspeeder, and it predates the snowspeeder. Now, I'm not saying nothing, but I'm just saying. Then they're putting out the sequel to Alienoid, the period,
pre-order.
Yeah, I figured you'd pre-order this one. Alienoid Return to the Future. There you go. Sci-fi period, Korean. Yeah. Awesome. Love it.
All in the mix.
You got to love that. Then we get, this is also coming out. This might not be coming out. I might be wrong about this. I don't know if this is coming. Maybe it's coming out from Eureka. Double Crossers. I don't know anything about this. Maybe I got this wrong.
Okay.
But what can I say? And then the artist Man Ray made movies all the way back in the 1920s. This is Return to Reason. I only know who Man Ray was because my mom had a poster because she was an art history major when she was at Berkeley in the late 50s and early 60s. Return to Reason is a collection of Man Ray, the artist's movies, which I've never seen. I'll buy this because how wild is that? It's pretty wild. So there you go. I'll get that. Wim Wenders movie, Anselm, about the artist Anselm Kiefer, the sculptor and painter, is coming out.
Doesn't it even come out in 3D, Rob?
It is coming out in 3D.
Yeah.
And I think this is a Criterion disc, too. Or no, it's coming out from their partner label. It's coming out from their partner label in 3D, though. It's coming out in 3D. Great. So that's really exciting. So good for us. And then we've got The Three Musketeers Part 2, Milady, is coming out. I mean, I'm sure they're going to release a box set of this, I would imagine, or somebody is, so maybe I'll wait for that.
It is a box set, not really a box set, just a standard MRA in the UK with both titles, but fortunately, unfortunately, only the Blu-ray, not both in 4K. They are available in France, of course, in 4K, Rob, but the movies are in French.
Yeah, the fuckers.
Without English subtitles.
The French and the Japanese just don't want to share.
Yeah.
They don't put subtitles.
Yeah.
God damn it.
And they filmed the movie both back to back, this one and the first one.
Yes. And then we've got A Shock to the System coming out from 101 Films. I love this. Great British movie. I really enjoyed this film. I think it's late 80s maybe. Michael Caine, great performance. 101, putting it out. Love that 101 puts out crazy stuff like this. And love supporting. Then, of course, Arrow is releasing one of my favorite releases they've ever put out. Kinji Fukasaku's the director of Battle Royale and the director of the Japanese segments of Tora Tora Tora. They're re-releasing The Battles Without Honor and Humanity, the complete collection. Now, here's the thing. I have 2 different versions of this, and I didn't look to see if it's both. I think it's only 5 discs. I got to find out. But I love these movies. Of course, everyone knows the piece of music, Battles Without Honor and Humanity, they use in Kill Bill. You might not know it when I say that it's called that, but when you heard it, you're like, oh yeah, because they've used it in everything. But Kinji Fukasaku is a great director. These are great Yakuza crime thrillers from Japan. And now I know that everybody can't wait for this one. The 4K release of Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy, the 20th anniversary edition, coming out in 4K. Why not get it? Because it's loads of fun. And, you should get these
from
things.
Paramount itself.
Paramount's putting out how they chose to release these. I'll never know. And then finally, we are getting from Curzon that put out the great Wim Wenders box set. They're now putting out this, and I gotta say, this box set, this is an interesting one for me because they're putting out this big box set, and I don't know. I have seen Barbarian Sound Studio from 2012.
This is the one that I have seen too, Rob.
Yeah, and Peter Strickland. This is comprehensive limited edition 6 Blu-ray disc collection, boasting his complete feature filmography to date. It's got his, but I've only seen one of the movies. Catlin Varga, Barbarian Sound Studio, The Duke of Burgundy, In Fabric, and Flux Gourmet. I have not seen any of those except Barbarian Sound Studios. So, hey, it looks like a great box set worth dipping into, probably.
I'm a little bit surprised, Rob, that Barbarian Sound Studio is already 12 years old.
I know. We're going to die soon.
Strange.
Just saying. Here are the top 20 sellers for the week. Now, these are all of everything that's
combined.
Selling. All formats combined. Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, number 1. The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes is number 2. Migration, number 3. Lisa Frankenstein, number 4. That's cool. Wonka, number 5. Star Trek Lower Decks, number 6. Oppenheimer, number 7. Wish, number 8. The Marvels, number 9. And Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, number 10. Now, the top selling Blu-ray discs: Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, Star Trek Lower Decks, The Iron Claw, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Oppenheimer, The Abyss, Dune Part 1, Wonka, Lisa Frankenstein, and Migration. These are been kind of boring because they've been the same. The top selling 4K discs, I don't know how this can be true because you can't get The Abyss anywhere. Thank you so much, Amazon. The Abyss, Aliens, Oppenheimer, Aquaman, The Lost Kingdom, Dune Part 1, True Lies, The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, Wonka, Planet Earth 3, and Guardians of the Galaxy must be
probably
Schnäppchen, a re-release. So, hey, that's cool. So there you go. There's all the news that I deemed fit to print.
So, just a quick, I saw a co-worker is in the chat. So, Lars, if you're still watching, greetings to you, my friend. I saw his gamer take.
Does your coworker does he moonlight? Is he really Lars Ulrich?
No, he is Lars Helmut.
Oh, Lars Helmut. That's okay.
So Rob, should I show my last titles?
Yeah. Now I want you to show your last titles and then go into the live chat because I think the puppies have escaped. I have a little puppy incursion. Okay. So I will be back.
Then I take over, Rob. I take the show in my hands.
The show is yours. Take it over.
Okay. So the last few titles, people. Cat in the Bag. The Apocalypse Begins, says it here. movie. It's called Rebirth. Really, really shiny. And it's actually, I think it's a 4K. And the Blu-ray. So it seems to be having to do something with virtual reality here. So if the computer makes his own movie, says it here. Really looking forward to it. Cat in the bag, but at least it's shiny. Oh, Rebirth. Next one, another cat in the bag. It's our favorite. I know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow, with Kit Harington, Josh Lucas, and Scott McNeary. It's called Blood for Dust. Comes with the Blu-ray and the 4K with 2 different variations on the disc, which is nice. Hopefully, a good one. The next one was a cat in the bag, and I did get the US version because it's way cheaper, because I saw it will come out here in Germany as media books with great covers, but I wasn't sure about the movie, so I thought, get the cheaper US version, just check the movie out itself, and I will probably not get the media books. It's a Japanese one. It's just called Brutal, which the movie actually is, but it's only, I think it's only 67 minutes long, but perhaps the less said, the better. It's a little bit experimental, I would say. It goes in completely, so the title is fitting, but actually, we leave it at that. Next one, I don't know if Rob showed it in the news section, but it looked interesting to me. So, and it comes, I think the movie has 2 titles. I bought Deep in the Heart, aka Handgun. So it comes with different covers here in it. Let me just see if we have. Yeah, we have a booklet for the movie. So it seems to have gotten releases with 2 titles, it seems. Really looking forward to it. It has a little bit of the vinegar syndrome, considering the O-ring, but it is not vinegar syndrome. It is, just see, another, how is that company called? Fun Entertainment, something like that. Okay, Handgun. The next one, unfortunately, didn't live up to what I was hoping for. I bought Lisa Frankenstein. The problem for me with the movie, it's from everything too little. It's not funny enough. It's not gory enough. So for me, unfortunately, not a good one. I immediately understood why it didn't set the box office on fire. So it should have gotten deeper into a little bit more R-rated stuff. So Lisa Frankenstein, unfortunately, a little bit mediocre. The next one I already showed, I think a couple of weeks back, the second part of it, and this is the media book with both parts. I bought the Baby Assassins 1 and 2 media book, even if I would love to get a third one of the series. As I told you, it's about 2 girls who are hitmen, but for them, hitman is just a normal job, Pay your gym membership, pay your insurance, If you're suspended, don't kill anyone, because the cleaning crew, you will not covered by the cleaning crew to clean up your mess. Baby Assassins 1 and 2. And the last one is Schnäppchen, but I haven't looked up the original title. Perhaps you can help me out. So the German title is 7 Super Profis. So this is the second one from Andy Sidaris that he did. And probably I don't think this is actually fitting the main character. So this was actually a Schnäppchen. I think $10 was the price for it. So hope I will have some laughs with this one. So this was the last one, 7 Super Profis, which was a Schnäppchen. So, let's go into the live chat. So, previously on Let's Get Physical Media, and I hope I will get the context right, because it's 3 weeks past, so sometimes I'm missing the context now. Let me just see. Oh, okay. 3 weeks ago, we showed the trailer for the fan film, Hope and Glory, the Mad Max fan film, Hope and Glory. And here is a little bit of announcement. Next week, in our time slot, in the Let's Get Physical Media time slot, there will be a Robservation where Rob is interviewing the makers of the fan movie. And the fan film will be out next Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and which is 6 p.m. here, Central European time. So you will have time. This is your homework, people. You got homework to do. Watch Hope and Glory. It's 40 minutes long. Will be out on YouTube. And then come to Observations next week Sunday. Ask the makers if you have some questions for them. Or I want to know if you like the movie. And if Rob's, he has a single card on the trailer. And Rob says, it's impressive. Is he shilling? Or was he right, considering Hope and Glory? So you have homework to do, people. Next week, Sunday, watch Hope and Glory, and then come to Observations, where Rob will interview the makers. And here we go, considering the live chat. Ariel Pico, considering the trailer. Rob, this looks dope as fuck. 5-Star Toast, production design is top notch. Adventure Square looks promising. Altmetall, now we're talking. BCH, wow, that looks cool. Lisa Roberts looks decent. Species 1571, watch out for the copyright strike. I hope they have that covered. And Tim Whalen, kudos to Europe on the critic tagline. Single credit, great tagline. Altmetall, great stuff. Paul and Brunotto, Hope and Glory trailer looks really impressive. Justin Sanchez looks better than Fallout right now, but Fallout was a great show. Cyphex says Monkey Man, which I watched this week, totally had a good time with it, and I wasn't actually not that taken back by the shaky cam. I'm like most people, I'm not really a fan of shaky cam, but sometimes it is done well, and I think Monkey Man was one of the movies where it was implanted really good, but I only watched on the TV, so sometimes the shaky cam can work a little bit better if the screen is actually smaller than the big one. So Cyphex says, Monkey Man had born supremacy levels of shaky cam, and you can barely understand anything anyone says, but First Omen was pretty good. Since I have the thickest accent, so I actually had not that much problem understanding the people in the movie. And that's it. Considering Godzilla -1, we don't know. We only know next week there will be the Japanese release without English subtitles. But otherwise, we don't know anything about the release of the movie on physical media. And Under 6 says, I'm sure it will come out at some point. That's a day one pre-order for me. Diane Seaborn says, I remember The Omen very well from school. We all thought it was cool back in the day. Adventure Square saw the original in theaters in 76. The music still plays in the back of my mind. Thomas Mitchell, The First Omen is a better movie than Godzilla vs. Kong and Monkey Man combined. Gary Smith, what's the announcement that you guys are clamoring for now? For me, I would say for perhaps everybody, it is the 4K edition of the movie. 5-Star Toast. I thought The First Omen was actually done very tastefully. Good stuff. Robert Thomas Watson, the original Omen trilogy had plenty of spectacular kill scenes a la splatter films. Tim Henn says, leave the classic Omen trilogy as it is, doesn't need or require any prequel. Adventure Square, because we asked Rob about his Writers Festival, where he was at the location where I think he said they filmed the stuntman. And Adventure Square says the stuntman is an underrated gem. And Altmetall gives us a little bit of a sound bite. If you want to watch great sound stuff, watch and listen to Zhang Yimou's 4K of Shadow, one of the best Atmos tracks I've ever experienced. Cincinnati's 5-star Barber says, I think Aliens looks fantastic and True Lies looks flat, considering the James Cameron titles. The Alex Sorber, I saw Aliens at cinema and did not love it. It just wasn't Alien to me, but that's me. Yeah, Alex, that's just you, considering Aliens. Robert Thomas Watson, why did he shoot in 185:1 instead of 235:1 like the first Alien film? I think he did go into it a little bit on the audio commentary, James Cameron, as far as I remember, but I don't know the exact reason anymore why he chose that format. Or it is perhaps since I think James Cameron shoots Super 35 was more to that kind of shooting style, perhaps. Well, here, Rob. Oh, look what you got here.
This is Marilyn.
Now you're stealing the show, Rob. Now you're stealing the show. Of course.
This is Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. Look at how cute she is, huh?
Rob, do you have any idea why Aliens was actually shot in 185 instead of 235?
James Cameron has never shot an anamorphic film. He always shoots. Well, later on, he always shot in spherical because that gave him more latitude when he was in post-production.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
There was a puppy breakout, and I had to go find them all.
Have you find them all?
Of course. But I thought I'd bring Marilyn because she's the prettiest.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, because I want to have a way with the ladies, even if they're canines. Right,
Justin
Marilyn?
Toner. I look forward to getting to 4K myself so I can judge it. I hope you.
Oh wait, let me put you back on. Let me put you back on camera.
Robert Thomas Watson. I'll stick to my Aliens Blu-ray in the box set, which is always an alternative that you can do. Paul and Brunotto says the Icons Unleashed Star Wars is a very good documentary that I got wrongly instead of ISS, the movie. Charlie Unicorn. Dieter is a trash panda of class with these purchases. Hal Shaw says, I was pretty happy with Aliens and the Abyss, less so with True Lies. Rob Etiken, love Free Enterprise, good sir. And Sir Neidhart says, you give us a new Free Enterprise at least on Blu-ray.
We're trying.
People are still clamoring for that.
You know what? I'm going to let me go put her back because her mother is begging at the door. Like, what did you do, absconding with a puppy?
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Marilyn?
Give it back to me.
I will.
And now I'm cutting into the fold myself. Reese says, happy birthday, dealer. Brian one L Singleton. I'm having trouble accessing Post-Geek website. Is it me or the site? As far as I know, the website is still being reworked. So I think you can't send letters at the moment. GA says Rosemary's Baby and The Exorcist pushed the genre forward, whereas The Omen was more of in the tradition of big budget glossy Hollywood fare. Still, it's very well made. Considering you talked about leaving a footprint, I think, with the Omen franchise. Brian Knight, can send a letter because your website is still down. Any update? Like I said, I think the website is still being worked on. The Alex Sorber, I only bought The Abyss and still haven't watched it, just not a Cameron fan. Now the original Terminator film would get my attention, and I think they are working on the first one. Lord Toth, I was stunned by Alien and Aliens. The movies, the transfers? Perhaps both. Fabrice, ChatGPT couldn't have written Rebel Moon. Yeah, I think we underestimate artificial intelligence, considering writing. I think ChatGPT would have thrown it out, the script, for Rebel Moon. Tim Hens, someone needs to do a Monk and Bulletproof crossover. I don't think so, Tim. And Charlie Unicorn, a buzzer sound effect added to the show. Yes, buzzer sound effect. Here it is. Daniel Delgadillo, have you all seen that new One Piece 1100 episode, some of the best animation you'll see. Well, Daniel, if I get to the 1099 episodes before that, I can tell you about it. 1100 episodes. Insane. Charlie the Unicorn, Baby Assassins, really should be remade into a full-budgeted Hollywood movie. I would say we leave it at the Japanese version for the moment, which is fine enough, Charlie. Play Tendo Guy. It sucks that us in the UK has to import The Abyss. Yeah, play Tendo Guy, but for me, importing movies is the most natural thing for any collector. But of course, it is stupid that it got not released in the UK. Chuck Hayworth wants to know, Rob, have you ever seen Nocturne with George Reft?
I have not.
I have not with George. Altmetall, I'm more a fan of Steven Seagal's stunning guitar skills. Yeah, some guitar skills. That's Steven Seagal. Yeah. Thomas Bartholdi, if someone asked me what my favorite Harrison Ford film was, I'd say Air Force One, honestly. Hey, why not? And the Alex Sorber throws in, I think a German word, he says, I translated it, Free Enterprise, es ist eine Schande, it's a shame that it's not on 4K or Blu-ray. Charlie the Unicorn, Rob, do you own the Laserdisc of Free Enterprise?
I do indeed. As a matter of fact, one of them I owe to a Laserdisc collector in the UK that I promised I'd send it to him. And my copy of the Free Enterprise Laserdisc is in one of those LP frames. So it's a frame where you've got the cover.
Which company put that Laserdisc out? Which company?
Pioneer.
Pioneer
put it out. Yeah, Pioneer put it out. And it's one of the last Laserdiscs ever made. So I've got it in a frame. It's pretty cool in our movie room where you got the sleeves on the bottom and then each disc is up in the frame.
But it was just a movie, Rob, or
and the special features. It's a 2 Laserdisc set. Yeah, it's a pretty, because they distributed the film on home video. They picked it up for distribution. So we got a Laserdisc, a Japanese pressing too. Woohoo!
Woo! Awesome. Victor Fontaine, the camera releases will be a price drop pickup for me. Not rushing out to buy them with those transfers. Yeah, that is possible to do. Speaking of the Star Wars special editions, Tim Hens, they ruined up the Credo seat even further with McClunky. Danzig 1979, thanks for a great show. Tim Hens, who in their right mind doesn't love Back to the Future? I have no idea, Tim.
Who doesn't?
No idea. Vegas Robocop, I agree, Rob. Robocop 2 was the biggest disappointment in my life, since Vegas Robocop is the Robocop aficionado. No Money G, great show today, guys. NDH. Okay, no, this was something else here. Brian CF, the Aliens and the Abyss 4K upgrade are okay. True Lies, don't watch it on the big screen. Rob, have you watched the True Lies?
I don't have that either.
Okay.
I just
Tim
have
Hens.
Aliens.
Yeah. And as everybody know, I like the theatrical version of Aliens more than the longer version. Tim Hens, nope. Aliens, the special edition, is better. And Victor Fontaine says the special edition of Aliens is better. Dieter is wrong on this one. No, I'm right, as Connie saying about that. And then Six says, treat yourself, Rob and Deeds. I loved the 4K of Darkman. I'm waiting for a price drop. Then waiting for a price drop. And then Rob was alone, but here I go through the live chat, of course, too. The Alex Sorber, no Dieter, no sale. And Len McIsaac says, back to work, Dieter. Yeah, I was going back to work. Altmetall, speaking of myself, he is locked up in my cellar. I want to be your favorite German at least one time. And Tim Man says, keep him locked there. But he set me free. And Roman Chopper wants to know, Rob, what's true noir? Never heard of it. Can you explain the term true noir a little bit?
Yes.
further?
So true noir is it's a full-blown, totally immersive 5.1 or maybe Dolby Atmos audio drama. It's like a movie, but no picture. And it is written by the great award-winning Max Allan Collins. And Max Allan Collins wrote the graphic novel that Road to Perdition, the movie, was based on. He also wrote the series of Quarry novels that the short-lived Cinemax series was based on. And he's written for Batman. He's written tons of novelizations. But the True Noir series is based on Max's 19-novel-deep, so far, Nathan Heller detective series that spans from the early 1930s so far to the late 1960s. And what's unique about them is that they're very noir, hard-boiled detective stories about Nathan Heller, who's being played by Todd Stashwick, who you might remember as Liam Shaw in Picard Season 3, or if you like the 12 Monkeys TV series, and you should because it's really good, he played Deacon on that show. And so it's all about this character. And the first story, the assassination of Anton Cermak, so it's True Noir, the assassination of Anton Cermak, is actually about, it swirls around a real occurrence where the mayor of Chicago was assassinated in what may or may not have been an attempt to kill President FDR at the time. Ooh. And so the show spans across America, mostly in Chicago and in Florida, but it's and other places, but it's a full-blown audio drama. And it has an incredible cast of people that I'm not going to announce yet, but there's more people. It has 36 speaking roles. I'm directing and producing and then doing some editing on it. And Mike Bodden is producing, and my other producers are Phil Dingerlang, Todd Stashwick, and Max Allan Collins himself. So we start.
I think you said, Rob, at end of May you start recording?
We start recording, and so we're going to launch a crowdfunding campaign that's going to last for 60 days, but we're already kind of financed. So you'll be able to participate, actually, if you want to support the endeavor. The first day of recording, you'll be able to log in and watch the recording session because it's all the actors sitting in the round.
Yeah.
So doing their voices, it's pretty fun. And then I direct. So
wasn't it already that picture that you posted on Instagram, Rob, with the round table?
Yeah, that was what you said. That's when we recorded the proof of concept, which you can hear.
Yeah.
You can hear the proof of concept, and
Nice.
I will make it live and look out for it. And I've wanted to make an audio drama my whole life. I mean, I grew up listening to CBS Radio Mystery Theater and Power Records and old-time radio shows, but this is, like it's not a book on tape. It's a full-blown 5.1 full surround sound, immersive. If you're wearing headphones like this and you close your eyes and you turn it up, it sounds like a real movie.
Awesome.
And it's all being scripted by Max Allan Collins. So the scripts are amazing.
Nice. Castle Grayskull, can anyone please make a live-action movie of He-Man with Alan Ritchson? My Castle Grayskull would be happy. Robert Thomas Watson wants to know, is the Conan the Barbarian fully uncut? Did this film not get slightly cut before its original cinema release? Well, Robert, there are actually 3 cuts on the 4K version. The American theatrical version, the international cut, and I think the producer cut is the third one. Dieter, you are truly the man of the people, and my favorite German, Screw Klopp. He means Jürgen Klopp, the coach of Liverpool. Mas Hussein, anyone looking forward to RoboCop 2 in 4K? Actually, yes. I have a soft spot for RoboCop.
Do you?
2. Yeah. Mas Hussein, Kung Fu Hustle, still one of the most fun martial arts flick ever made, I think. And Alex Zopper said, you think correctly, for me too. Andelo says, is Steed's dead? And Huge Chess, I see what you did there with your name, says, no, worse, he has the night shift. So I was not dead, I had the night shift. Holland Brunotto, no IMAX on Tune 2. Disappointed. What can we do? Huge Chess. We need, what we need is IMAX. God damn it. Alex Sorber, most of us don't play the long game with physical media. We want it now.
That's right.
Yeah, as in yesterday. And that was the live chat, Rob, for 2 shows.
Well, I gotta hand it to you. That was pretty amazing. So,
because I had to go through your solo outing too.
Well, yes, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that you did that. We have a few other super chats that have come in, and I am looking for those. So, 5.toast gifted 5 memberships. Thank you for that. And Walter Whitewalker asks, Can your nickname be the German Shepherd of Showbiz? I like that name. Someone's got to do some key art. Get on that right now. Get on that. What would the German Shepherd of Showbiz look like? But it would have to be like not the dog, but Dieter holding discs like he's Moses coming down the mountain, you know? But how do you convey that you're German? I don't know. I leave it up to the artists. I love it. James Wheeler says, hello, Dieter and Rob, a $20 super chat. I just want to make a slight correction. Howard Hughes directed Hell's Angels, and William Wellman made Wings. That is correct. I misspoke. I apologize for that. He did make Hell's Angels, and Wings was the Academy Award winner, and I was mistaken. It was always the Howard thing. Howard Hawks, Howard Hughes. I was screwed up by the Howard thing. But yes, so I appreciate being corrected, James. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's when we get things wrong on this show. So I very much appreciate that, James. Thank you. Yes. And by the way, Hell's Angels is the making of Hell's Angels is what you see at the beginning of The Aviator in Martin Scorsese's movie. B. Depp says, I visualize R&B chasing the puppies to the Benny Hill theme. It's not unlike that. Yeah, it's very much you've nailed it, B. Depp. If that's what you want to believe, that's pretty much close to reality. And they're scrambling everywhere. But they come to me when I sing them the Bubber song. Like Elizabeth and I have, you know, when you're a couple with people, you make up nonsense words, and for whatever reason, we call the puppies the Bubbers. Everything is the Bubbers. We call the dogs the Bubbers. So I sing the Bubber song when I go out there and clean up their pen, and then when I bring them their food. And the Bubber song is kind of based on the Bugaloos theme song. Bugaloos. So I go bubber, 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 bubbers, bubber, bubbers, and they all come running. So what's great is when they break out in the yard. Oh, see, they're barking now. They heard me say that. I can hear them barking. But when I say that, they come a running, and it's great because wherever they are in the yard, they come to me. So it's better. It's amazing how quickly they do it. So that's the Bubber song. So there you go. You know the secret. If you want to break into our house and be the Pied Piper of bubbering, you can sing that song just like how I just sang it. So there you go. And we are caught up. We're caught up. I'll make sure.
There's new super chats from No Money G.
There is a new super. I just saw that. No Money G apparently has $10 to give us a super chat. So No Money G, thank you for that. Happy birthday, Rob. I was wondering. You know, my birthday is actually coming up. They've been keeping this joke going for months. And No Money G.
And you're still fearful, Rob, that no one will actually...
on my actual birthday, May 15th. Yeah, I'm going to be sad. I'll be sad. Yeah. Happy birthday, Rob. Now we're currently the same age, but you will again overtake me by nearly a year. Hail, my fellow Trekker and Prince affection connoisseur. You know what? Oh, I can't reach it. So, you know, I got my custom Prince figure right there. So Toys made a Prince figure too, and I think I'm going to do some mixing and matching on my Prince figure. Do you know that Musicology is 20 years old? His album Musicology. You're probably going, what? But anyway, it's 20 years old. Musicology. I love that record. I saw that tour, and they gave that record out if you bought a ticket.
Okay. Oh, nice.
Which bolstered the sales figures of the... So it's good.
Yeah.
So No Money G. Money don't matter tonight. Still didn't matter yesterday. What can I say?
So...
That's it for us.
Yeah. We are caught up. Rob, I forgot one thing. I got one thing more to show, Rob. I forgot it, but it wasn't on the normal table. And I was really looking forward to it because I showed this one, but it's probably now years ago, the Def Leppard Hysteria set. And I was a little bit bummed back in the day because there's no Blu-ray audio for that album. But now, Def Leppard put out the album before Hysteria, the Pyromania.
I have this record.
Yeah. Why not, Rob? It's a classic.
It is a classic.
And this one, Rob, has a Blu-ray with a Dolby Atmos mix, a DTS 5.1 mix, a stereo PCM track. And it's a really, really nice one. Let's put it out here. So we have one is, let me just see. This is the book that comes with the album. It's really nice. Pictures during that time. The album is 40 years now. Here we got the lyrics for the songs. So really, really nice with some statements. A lot of stuff from the tour from back in the day. So we've got that nice book in it. And here we've got the one which contains, some are a little bit probably
it's really nice.
Not too happy, Rob, but we actually love those paper stuff. So we've got, let me just see here, the remastered CDs. Then we got some demo stuff. Then we have 2 live CDs, and here's the Blu-ray with the album with the Dolby Atmos or DTS 5.1 mix attached to it. So I will probably have to wait a few years more until Hysteria gets to the 40 to get this album in a 5.1 mix. So I almost forgot to show the Pyromania set that came out this week. Of course, it's available as vinyl too, but for me, the Blu-ray was the deciding factor to get this one. So that's
a beautiful set. Beautiful set.
So
beautiful.
I can get those in. Pyromania, 40 years. So this was the last one. And one movie, Rob, I forgot to talk about with you. Considering I'm totally on board with you saying if a movie gets a theatrical release, it adds value to the movie. That doesn't mean that kind of movie is better than Red Notice, The Gray Man, or even Ghosted. Rob, I saw on Apple, now it's finally released, I saw Argyle.
Yeah, I watched it. Yeah.
Rob, on the stone tablets from Moses, there's actually an 11th law, and that law says you don't change a redhead into a blonde. That is the 11th. That is the 11th law.
Well, everyone knows of my fondness for redheads. I mean, that's my weakness.
Am I correct, Rob?
You are 100% correct. Anybody who wants to do that is wrong. Terrible.
And I think, Rob, we can fix that movie. The idea is great, and we can leave the stuff from the book within that Fast and Furious style. But the other stuff had to be real. And you could have even played in it that she is a little bit more chubby, you know. She's not that fit anymore. You could have played it. But then you got that insane skiing scene with her. And I thought, what the hell are we doing here, people? What the hell are we doing?
I know.
You know. So for me, Argyle was disappointing. So even if it would come out with the Apple stuff, sometimes comes out in Italy as a 4K, I will not buy Argyle. And I was totally aware, even from the trailer, that Henry Cavill is not a lot of in the movie. For me, the trailer made it totally clear. So
I have 100%
reservations about that, you know. But how they pulled the movie together, no. For me, Rob, this is not better than Red Notice or The Gray Man Or
I didn't say it was, but
yeah.
nor would I.
No, but you're right, Rob. It played in the theater. It adds value.
No, it does, even for a movie like that.
Yeah, even for a movie like that.
Sadhu sends in a super chat and says, I thought Challengers was great. Luca knows how to make a movie feel sensual and real. Verisimilitude. I think it's got a lot to do with letting the shots breathe. It's a definite recommendation. That's good to hear.
Nice.
Good to hear. Yeah. I love it.
So are we caught up?
We're caught up, man. Do I have to play trivia again?
Don't worry, Rob. I already put out the original series. I didn't bother even put out any one of the other ones. So I don't know if that can help you up. What they show here on the back of the card? There are questions about this thing. I don't know.
I can't see. Hang on, let me go.
What is this, Rob? I have no.
I have to look. I don't. What is it? Put it up again.
Okay. I have no idea, actually. Perhaps the question will make it clearer.
I don't know what I'm looking at.
So let me I hope I don't butcher the questions too much. So the first question is, Rob, how was Telev killed? Thelev killed. How was
by poison.
Don't forget you can
by poison.
Exactly, Rob. Right. By poison.
Yeah.
And now do you know what this means on the back of the card?
Yes. I know what episode we're talking about.
Okay. How did Telev murder on the way to the Babel conference? Who did Telev murder on the way to the Babel conference?
Shit.
Don't forget, you can always go multiple choice, Rob.
Multiple choice.
A, Ambassador Sarek. B, Ambassador Gave. G-A.
Oh, yeah. Ambassador Gav.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. You're right. I don't even have to say the third one. Third question. Where was the conference held in which Telev was the Andorian delegate? Where was the conference held in which
Babel
Telev was the... Exactly, Rob. You're right. Fourth one. When was Telev taken into custody on board the USS Enterprise? When was Telev taken into custody on board the USS Enterprise? They refer to something in that.
After he fought Kirk? I mean...
Exactly, Rob. I let it totally... it's totally correct, Rob. They say, after critically injuring Captain James T.
Okay.
Kirk, you're right, Rob. Last one. Telev was surgically altered to appear Andorian. What was Telev's true heritage? Telev was surgically altered to appear Andorian. What was Telev's true heritage?
Multiple choice.
Multiple choice is human, Orion, Vulcan.
Orion.
Human, Orion. Correct, Rob. Not one wrong. Great, Rob. As we know, the original series. You can tell me something about the episode specifically?
Well, that's Journey to Babel. That was the episode where Kirk and McCoy met Spock's parents. That's the first episode where Mark Leonard appears as Sarek, and Jane Wyatt is Amanda, and they're going to the Babel conference. It's also the first time you see like Tellarites and Andorians and all that. Reggie Nalder's in that episode. It's a great episode.
Great one. No, not one wrong. Not one wrong. As we
Sorry, I had to go from. See, the funny thing is I don't. With the questions that they're asking, I'm not sure what they're asking because they're kind of vague. Like the question about like I didn't remember about Telev that he was Orion, but I knew he wasn't human or Vulcan.
Yeah.
So there's
So that was an easy multiple choice.
Yeah. It's so weird that you're asking me trivia questions about a TV show that I started watching when I was 5.
Yeah. Red Letter Media got me the idea, Rob. You know,
It's good. I like it. I like it. Let's see. I think we're all caught up. Oh no, wait.
Okay.
Fanfic Story says, "Hey Rob, my new channel is audio dramas in a Stargate and Star Trek universe." Oh, I like that.
Ooh,
That's
nice.
cool. Although you don't own the rights to those things, so.
Okay.
But by the way, this is Fanfic Story's first super chat, so thank you for that. And that's very, very cool. Congratulations on doing that and making something. If anybody wants to hear the proof of concept, and again, the proof of concept, this is the script was written pretty quick, but and the episodes are longer. But you can get the idea of what it is that we're doing. You can it'll really give you a good sense of what we are doing. So,
Indiana Check in the chat asks Rob, "Can you phone a friend? You know, if you don't know the answer, you can phone a friend."
Yes, that'd be great if you could. I like that. So let me here. I'm just going to let me get the link here.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will put the link in the live chat so you guys can hear it if you want to hear it.
Awesome.
Here it is. So you can hear the proof of concept for Nathan Heller in the live chat. It's right there. And now you can get to it. Of course, now I'm accidentally playing it and I'm hearing it in my headphones. But by the way, if you listen to it with headphones and close your eyes, because it's very cool that way. So anyway, I'm all good.
I'm all good. We are caught up, Rob.
We're caught up.
I think
we're
we had
done.
a great show today.
That was a great show. Good to have you back. We're doing a show next week, right?
Yeah. Like I said, Rob, while you were awake, I put Rob on the spot before the show. Don't forget, Rob. Don't forget, people. Next week in our time slot, Rob will do a Robservation with the makers of the film Hope and Glory, and we will do Let's Get Physical Media on Saturday.
Yes.
Saturday will be Let's Get Physical Media, and Sunday will be Robservation about Hope and Glory. And then, people, you can tell us if Rob's statement, impressive, pretty damn impressive, he was right, or was he shilling? Was he actually shilling?
It's true. Was I shilling?
So on that note, jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson, being a great moderator. I want to thank Lord Toth, if Lord Toth is still here. And Justin Toner, and everybody who generously supports this channel via Super Chats, tips, memberships, all that. You guys are the best. And, this channel's, this not just the channel, but this show has been getting bigger. We've been getting more views, which is good. It's nice to have more physical media aficionados join us. Although I hear people, they always tell me that I don't really collect physical media, but they like to watch you and I anyway. Which is very flattering.
We are talking about entertainment in general, you know.
Yeah.
Physical media is the heart of the show, but we are talking about what have we seen, what. That's why I wanted to ask if you have seen Humane already, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to go look that up and see if it's playing. By the way, I want to thank Tom Jr. Jackson for this very sweet letter. That was very nice. Thank you very much.
Do we know anything about the website, Rob, when people can send letters in again?
No, I'll find out from Mike. Hopefully this week that we're going to get everything done. And then, if you guys can support and help, we're going to need all the help we can. We launch our crowdfunding campaign. The more money we can take in, the more money we can pay to actors. Because the biggest expense on this, we're not making money. The biggest expense on it is the actors and the actual audio engineering that takes months to do.
And for me, Rob, Todd Stashwick is a perfect example. What pulled me out of Rebel Moon was hearing Anthony Hopkins as the robot.
Right.
You know? Because I know that voice, it would be like if you would hire, let's say, Patrick Stewart. I know his voice.
Right.
Pretty damn good. Todd Stashwick, I know, I see him, but I'm not too familiar with his voice.
Right, exactly. You know? And he's doing a Chicago voice. And if we get, I mean, the
so
cast...
I think if you get actors in that kind of category, noble but not too noble, because for me Anthony Hopkins didn't work at all for me as that robot.
No, because you just hear it's Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like
they could at least try to a little bit more mechanical.
I mean, I like in Rocket Raccoon, you can't immediately tell it's Bradley Cooper.
Yeah,
it sounds different. And if we get half the actors that I think we're going to get, it's going to be pretty impressive.
Nice.
So, and I've got to give a shout out to people like Jason Spriggs for doing artwork, and Bartos, who did this poster that and the logo. I'm so happy. Yeah. I mean, to me, if this poster is representative of the entire show, this is the level, the caliber of quality that we're looking for. And a big shout out to Max Allan Collins, because, it's all about the writing, and he's just done a phenomenal, you never know when you're working with somebody. I mean, Max, do you know the reason Max Allan Collins and I are friends is because he watched us.
Yeah.
His wife, his pinup wife, is a huge fan of yours. He's got a beautiful blonde. He's got his own bombshell blonde wife who's tolerated. She's amazing because she's not only a beautiful woman, but she's tolerated Max Allan Collins. If you go to their house, Elizabeth, I'm kicked out of that. I don't even have, everything I own is in a garage here. Except the home theater system that Elizabeth can use. There's nothing in that house. If that house caught on fire, I'd just sit here in the garage. But no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that.
Save the puppies.
I'd save them. They're outside,
Right.
But you should. If you go to Max's house, it's like a museum. It's incredible. He's got this incredible collection of newspaper comic strip art, like amazing pieces. So, but we met because of this show, and he was a fan of this. He watched already. And, we first started talking less than a year ago. It was like, hey, let's do this. But his scripts are amazing.
Is the poster artwork for White Devils finished from Sevius? Do you have a new? Because you showed the poster artwork for White Devils.
that was Xevious' sketch.
Progress.
Yeah, the progress on this. So you saw it. That's his sketch. So how he works is once the sketch is approved, then he goes and does his final painting. Yeah. So that would be in the final painting stage, and hopefully the movie will be done this coming week, which would be terrific. The sound mix will be done, and I just have to finish the credits.
Okay.
Making the credits, and then we're good.
Okay.
So, yeah. But it's the full blown the scripts are incredible. Even the proof of concept doesn't begin to scratch the surface of how good the scripts are. Yeah. So I'm really I'm proud of the proof of concept. I wanted to show people, well, what is this? What is a fully immersive audio drama? What does that mean? Is it a book on tape? No. So, and I wanted to do it, like a movie. So you're mixing it. Yeah. And hopefully, part of the crowdfunding campaign is there is a physical media component to it. So with we'll have a physical media release. One of the stretch goals is to do a Dolby Atmos mix, and then we're going to release a Blu-ray that's going to have all the mixes. Whether there's either going to be the 2-channel stereo mix and the 5.1 mix. Those will be on the Blu-ray, but a stretch goal, if we reach it, there'll be a Dolby Atmos mix, so you'll have all three of those mixes. But then, I shot an hour-long interview with Max Allan Collins. That'll be on the Blu-ray. And we took Todd Stashwick to Chicago, and he walked around and talked about being a young actor in Colorado, in Chicago. So we filmed that. And then we got behind-the-scenes interviews and Alec Bornstein's soundtrack, and because all the music is original as well. So, really cool.
Cool. Cool stuff.
Yep.
So, on that note, Rob, I think
that's it for us. That was a good haul.
Don't forget, people, you have homework. Hope and Glory. Watch Hope and Glory before you get on to Robservation next week. That you have seen the movie and get back.
But will they have seen it by the 5th? It comes out the 5th.
Yeah, the movie comes out 2 hours before the show, Rob. So it's only 40 minutes. So your homework, people, watch Hope and Glory next week.
All right.
And then come to Rob's show where he interviews the makers of that fan-made film. And if Rob, single card credit, pretty damn impressive, was right, or was he shilling?
It's pretty damn impressive.
Yeah, definitely it is.
Stub McShave wants me to say, can I name a few actors that are already on board? No, not beyond Todd Stashwick, because we're kind of going to save those reveals for the crowdfunding campaign. But
Nice.
and it's also in flux. We're still talking to people because and scheduling and things like that. But I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, everyone.
See you Saturday, people.
Next Saturday.
Saturday, let's get physical media and special observation episode in our time slot next week on
same
Sunday.
bat time, same bat channel.